it's time to transform how they safeguard young people online.
The settlement requires Meta to put in place new safety features for kids ages 13 to 17, like time limits, nighttime blocks, and reducing social media comparison features like beauty filters and counts. An 18-year-old man has pled guilty to killing 10-year-old Lily Peters in Wisconsin 4 years ago. He was then given a life sentence with the possibility of extended supervision for 25 years after that.
Carson Petersberger's guilty plea to first-degree intentional homicide during a hearing in Chippewa County Court today. As part of the deal, charges of first-degree sexual assault and first-degree child sexual assault were dismissed, but read into the record. Peters was reported missing by her father on April 24, 2022, when she left her aunt's house but failed to return home. Her body was found in the woods near the aunt's home the following morning. Petersberger, who was 14 years old at the time, told investigators that he planned to rape and kill Peters from the get-go on Sunday night when he began following her down a trail after she left her aunt's home. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
The state's new Office of Inspector General meeting today. The group, composed of bipartisan lawmakers, held its first meeting, naming DFL State Senator Heather Gustafson as chair of that commission.
When we passed the bill to establish an independent Office of Inspector General, our state took a very serious step forward, creating an office to detect and investigate fraud and safeguard the integrity of the programs that Minnesotans rely on. This office has teeth. It has subpoena power, investigative authority, and real consequences for fraud and misuse of public funds.
She called it the most significant piece of anti-fraud legislation in state history. WCCO News Time is 3:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Jam up already in place for the afternoon on Cedar Avenue southbound 494 as you head down to Highway 13. South 35W jammed up already as well. 106th Street to Highway 13. Traveling 35W northbound, got some slowdowns into Minneapolis as moved past Lake Street to 94. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mike Lynch here, and it goes without saying that Sweet Martha's cookies at the Minnesota State Fair are the best. But did you know you can have Sweet Martha's cookies year-round? That's right. Sweet Martha's cookie dough available in all kinds of flavors in the frozen food department of your favorite grocery store.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Sweet Martha's Cookies. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer with the forecast.
The moon will be nearly full tonight. It does go full tomorrow night. 62 the overnight low tonight. Mostly sunny tomorrow for the first day of the State Fair. Looks awesome. 82, not too humid. Not too shabby on Friday either. Partly cloudy with a high of 84.
Right now we have partly cloudy skies and 79 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
We don't just break news, we break ideas, takes, opinions. News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRusha.
Well, let's keep going with the breaking news. You heard Chad talking about it. You heard it in the news at the top of the hour from Susie Jones. If Minnesota's governor refused to send some fugitive to some other state because we didn't like the law, wouldn't you be pissed? It's Drive Time. It's Jason. This is chaos when it comes to our system of law. If each state is allowed to essentially be an independent country that could harbor a fugitive. All because this guy's an ICE agent. How idiotic that we've turned this into such a political hot potato that the governor of Texas has decided, rather than taking someone who's been properly charged, properly indicted, properly had a warrant issued for arrest. And the governor of Texas has decided, well, I don't want to look like I'm not backing the immigration agents. I'm a Republican. I got to do the Republican thing. And so, no, we're not going to send this guy to Minnesota. To me, it's chaos. Where if you are a fugitive, just go find another place to go. Find another state, and then you're good to go. 651-461-9226. Love to get your reaction on this. We just got a reaction from the Attorney General, Keith Ellison, who said Governor Greg Abbott is turning Texas into a sanctuary state for violent criminals. I mean, it's sort of true, isn't it? Now, it's also sort of rich for Minnesota to be upset at some other state for being a sanctuary state. What the Attorney General says is that the court acknowledges that Christian Castro, the ICE agent, is a flight risk, that Minnesota will be harmed if he's allowed to flee to Mexico, and that the governor's consideration of this extradition request is of, quote, an atypically long duration. The problem is what this judge ruled, and this judge may be right, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the correct legal decision is not the correct decision for justice. And the correct legal decision may be that did Minnesota prove that the governor is doing something wrong? Governor's allowed to take time to consider an extradition request under the law. There's nothing that requires a governor to review that extradition request in short order. This, to me, is just another breakdown of the norms that used to keep us together as a country. We had governors just kind of doing the right thing. You didn't have to agree with it. There was going to be a court process. And frankly, this ICE agent who was charged with lying, who was charged with shooting a Minneapolis man without justification, and then making up a whole story about it. You know, the courts may end up throwing this thing out, right? Because he was a federal agent working in his role as a federal agent. And there are all sorts of court cases and rulings to come. But I just think this is unquestionably a bad thing for justice. And to me, it unleashes chaos all around the country, where if the Democrats in this state don't like some Republican law in another state, well, we're just not going to send that. We're not going to send that person to you. And a lot of Texans are saying this is no different from sanctuary cities protecting illegal immigrants. Can some of you explain to me how a sanctuary city policy keeps an illegal immigrant who's wanted on a felony in some other state? There's an extradition process started. Is that what sanctuary city means? Or are you guys just being purposefully idiotic and just, well, the word is sanctuary city, so it must be the same thing. Yes, sanctuary city means that people who are in the United States without proper documentation, guess it means you could kill somebody in Minnesota. And we're not going to send you to Texas. Don't be stupid. Like, why? Yeah. Come on. Can Minnesota put a bounty on Castro, the ICE agent, so that a bounty hunter can snatch Castro up and transport him back here? Should we have to? I mean, the whole point of having agreements between states and having extradition as a process is so we don't have to deal with this nonsense. But now, apparently, the rule of law is just another place to practice your nonsense political opinion. And I'm just saying this goes both ways here. It's likely to go both ways. Now, granted, like, how many times does this come up? But I'll tell you what, if you're a police officer, if I were a police officer in Minnesota and something went down and I killed or shot someone as a law enforcement agent, I would get the hell to Texas. Because apparently you can just hide out in Texas and the Republican governor will wait and let that extradition process play out. Texter saying it's complete and utter BS. Texas is playing the states' rights crap, but the governor will only apply states' rights when it meets their political agenda. I think that's exactly right. Yeah, and if we want to take the extradition process and just blow it up and throw it out, well, I guess we can do that. But it's just never been this way. We had Joe Tamburino on when this case first came up, and Joe was like, extradition is relatively boring. It's essentially a procedural process, and it keeps justice kind of all working correctly. And I'm not saying that I think Castro is guilty. I don't know. But he was charged. And in fact, the Trump administration said there was a good chance that he was going to be facing federal charges because he lied. So this guy, this is going to be the guy that you're going to harbor and protect. Like, oof. Texter says, let's send all the criminals to Texas. Let's go to Kevin and Anoka on the CCO Talking text line, 651-461-9226. Kevin, I just worry that this is the beginning of what's going to be an escalating situation from states. Whenever you disagree with some prosecution politically, you become the harbor for that potential criminal.
This is not the beginning. This has been going on for years. We just had the state of Minnesota who pardoned a guy who raped a 10-year-old girl for years to try and avoid him being deported because of their sanctuary policies in this state. And how many hundreds of times have the jailers in this state refused to hold felons so that ICE could come get them, and they cut them loose and make the state go find them?
Well, and you understand why that is, right, Kevin?
Because they would rather have the enemy of my enemy than actually go by the law.
No. You know that's not true. Kevin, you're and
have them be deported.
Kevin, you're such a smart guy, and you come on here and just say so much nonsense. The reason that some of the jails and prisons in Minnesota have not agreed to hold people past their release date is because the Constitution rules that that's a form of double jeopardy, that you're being held in prison or in jail again for a crime, for the same crime, twice. And that's why, and there are big civil lawsuits, and there are many municipalities have lost lawsuits, and then you have to pay. And so that's why they do that. We can disagree with like whether they should or shouldn't, but the reason is that it's double jeopardy. If you were locked up for shooting somebody, and at the end of your time, as it's as public to immigration authorities as it is to me or it is to your family, they tell them what the release date is going to be, and if ICE doesn't come, you can't be held for another week. You would file a lawsuit in 2 seconds. I hope you would, because it's unconstitutional. Now, maybe we need to change the law or change the Constitution, but the way it is now, that's why that is happening.
And
admit I'm right. You know I'm right. Just say, yeah. But I was making a rhetorical point.
Access, and we just pardoned a serial rapist.
Yeah, that was bad. I disagreed with that 100%.
He wouldn't get deported.
Yeah.
We would rather let somebody molest a 10-year-old than they be deported in this state.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. That's a way to look at it for sure. Tony's in Egan. I hated that pardon. I think it was absolutely ridiculous. Tony, what do you think about Texas and what Texas is doing here?
Well, I think we should follow the lead South Dakota set a bunch of years ago.
when Russell Means was in California and they wouldn't extradite him, when the governor, anybody came up for parole in South Dakota, one condition of the parole is you move to California if you want. One of our criminals, you get all of them.
So you think we should send everybody to Texas?
Well, we could. I mean, it seemed like it worked back then.
Right. Yeah, I think you do end up in this sort of situation. Thanks, Tony. I mean, that is the rub here. Because now you have Texas saying, like, well, we're going to protect this ICE agent, even though evidence is clear that this ICE agent is going to flee to Mexico. What should there be some federal rule that requires states to extradite criminals? I guess I don't know. What is a justification for a state to say, like, no, we're not sending you this guy? To me, if Texas had a state prosecution against him, maybe that would be justification. But otherwise, I think the Texas Rangers went and arrested this guy because it was a warrant. I mean, the Texas authorities went and brought him in. And the fact that they're just running out on the clock on this, I think is disgusting. Lots of texts coming in. 651-461-9226. Drive Time coming back in just a minute.
Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Let's talk about Luther Kia of Bloomington. It's Jason here. So many friends have been asking me lately about Luther Kia of Bloomington because they're in the market for a new car. One of my friends in the market for a new car. But budget is a part of the deal, right? They're concerned about the cost of a new car, and I get it. Luther Kia and Kia in general has the best cars on the market for the money. And that is U.S. News and World Report saying that. Best cars for the money on the market. Now, the hottest SUVs are at Luther Kia Bloomington. One is the Kia Sorento Hybrid. 35 miles to the gallon, beautiful luxe interior. This thing is stunning. And the popular 3-row Telluride SUV, that comes in a hybrid too. You're not going to get a 3-row vehicle like this at this price point in a hybrid. You just aren't. With gas prices still high and the uncertainty, aren't you interested in trying to get the best mileage for the money? Luther Kia Bloomington, beautiful facility, awesome, straightforward, honest people. Get to LutherKiaofBloomington.com or go to their new beautiful facility in Bloomington, 35W and 494. Tell Dan Dingman or David Burns that Jason DeRusha told you to visit.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Twin City Framers is the industry leader building the largest wood frame projects in town, and they have immediate openings for carpenters. Here's the deal. Large multifamily carpentry pays an average of $5 an hour more than single-family homes. This is your opportunity to work for the best of the business and make more money today. If you're a carpenter or know someone looking for better pay, better hours, great benefits, and on-the-job training, then look no further. Go online to TwinCityFramers.com and apply for an immediate position today. That's TwinCityFramers.com.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly. so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Jason DeRusha
I'm dropping bombs of genius every day on this show.
on News Talk 830 WCCO.
You know, Jeff on Facebook makes an interesting point about extradition. And let's be honest, like extradition and this scenario as it's presenting itself with the ICE agent, the breaking news of the last hour or so that a federal judge has ruled Texas won. Texas's governor was not found in violation of anything in essentially running out the clock and pretending to consider whether or not he's going to extradite this ICE agent. That doesn't violate any sort of rule. And so the ICE agent will probably hit the 90-day point where you're automatically released from a jail in Texas because he's not being held on any charges in Texas. So 2 notes. 1, the standard run-of-the-mill homicide is not going to be an issue, right? States are going to send murderers. States are going to send gangbangers. They're going to send drug traffickers back to their state. This is reserved for political-type issues. So this is why I say my advice to any member of law enforcement is that if you're ever involved in any sort of on-the-job discharge of your weapon, get in your car and go to Texas. Why would you stay in this state? Because that's the precedent that this sets. Now, the other side of this is sort of the white-collar crime stuff, where if you're charged with white-collar crime and the extradition thing is filed, like maybe what if one state disagrees with the other state's law? And you're like, well, I'm not going to do that. I think it's kind of interesting. Now, Jeff on Facebook, I think, also brings out an interesting scenario, and he says extradition should not be automatic. When Arnie Carlson was governor many moons ago, he signed an extradition order for a family friend. The friend had committed a minor financial crime in Arizona that was charged as if it were a Bernie Madoff level scheme. He left Arizona, came home to Minnesota. Arizona had a warrant. Cops had to take him in after a traffic stop. And so on and on. And you think like, well, maybe that shouldn't be an automatic extradition. I don't know. To me, if a state should respect other states' judicial systems. And if a state charges you and goes through the extradition process, then I think you should go. Then I think the state should cooperate. That's what I think. Texter Greg Abbott agrees with ICE agents gunning down people in the streets in the back, plain and simple. Maybe he does, right? I do think there's this revisionist history. This is what I don't understand for the people who are either 100%, like the 100%, I always back the blue crowd. Don't you back good police work? Don't you back justice? Do you have a concept of justice? Or have you decided just to embrace like the Roman Empire times of just an eye for an eye? And frankly, it's very disproportionate. If you lie to a cop, you should be shot. I mean, I think to me, there's a disturbing amount of people who really believe that. And I just think we can do better. And governors of states historically have been better than this. They've been better than this. And to me, Texas is wrong. I'm not saying the judge in this case is wrong. I think the judge may have it right. But it shouldn't have even come to this. Shouldn't have even come to this. Let's break. It's 3:29. Thanks to everybody for the text. We'll continue to update you as we learn more. And we reached out to the Attorney General's office, who sent out a statement. Mary Moriarty, I think it was was it a Hennepin County charge in this case? I think so. So our newsroom had mentioned that there may be a news conference from her coming up as well. So we'll keep you updated throughout the show here on CCO. But let's lighten things up a little bit. Our friend Tracy Perlman joins us every Wednesday at this time. Schools, instead of assigning a book, right? Like we're reading whatever. More and more schools are just assigning excerpts. Are we done? Are we done with education? We're just giving people little clips? Or is this an accurate reflection of where we are as a society? And it's fine. We'll talk about that with Tracy on National Dog Day here on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Do you want to sell your house? Do you want to sell it quickly? Do you want to get to the finish line without a bunch of rigmarole? Chris Lindahl. Chris Lindahl has you covered. It's Jason here for my friend Chris Lindahl. You know the Arms Wide Out. If you've been following a bus or following a light rail lately, you probably see the Chris Lindahl billboard. One of the things I've liked over the last year is that Chris is doing a lot more time showing the satisfied ChrisLindahl.com Red Check Club members. And I think it's important because a lot of us think like, I don't know, like if I got to sell a house, I'm going to do it the way that we always do it. And this is just kind of how things go. I don't want to leave money on the table. But more and more Minnesotans are saying, what I want to leave on the table is uncertainty, sleepless nights, buyers who flake at the last minute, unreasonable demands for upgrades, and on and on and on. ChrisLindahl.com is where you can get that free smart seller guide. Put in your information and you're in control of the decision. Chris Lindahl's team will give you a dollar amount. You decide. Does it work for you or not? More and more people are saying it works for me. I don't want to deal with this. Find out for your situation. ChrisLindahl.com.
You have 47 tabs open. One about the weather. One about the upcoming election. One about that restaurant opening in St. Paul. And one you opened 3 weeks ago and have no idea why. We have Tracy. A suggestion.
Hi.
Close the tabs and get caught up.
How are you guys?
You need to know all in one place. News Talk 830W.
You should have stopped over.
I was dropping one off with Dave Schwartz.
Limu and I created a trick.
You're right here.
Remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen
You'll be at the fair on Monday?
Breathing is how you live, and you can Monday. You save money by customizing your car insurance.
Cowboys.
Oh, good time.
I agree, Limu.
I think Sam set us up.
It's really quite simple.
Yes.
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, liberty, liberty. Very good. We'll be with you here in about 2.5 minutes.
I'm ready when you are.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads. and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought in part by USPS Brown Advantage. Getting word of a crash South 35E near Randolph to be on the lookout for. Things are already jammed. You come down from St. Clair, making your way down to Shepherd Road. Cedar South jammed up as you make way toward 494, heading down to Highway 13. South 169, watching congestion there and slowdowns 494 as you head down to Old Shakopee Road. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. Serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
JTR, roofing and siding, that's who we are.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
JTR Roofing bringing us the Chris Schaefer forecast.
Just a few clouds overnight tonight as we fall back to 62 with that bright moon. Plenty of sunshine for the first day of the fair tomorrow. 82 the afternoon high, not humid. Don't forget we have the partial lunar eclipse tomorrow night where just after 11 o'clock the moon will take on a reddish appearance. Friday looks good for the second day of the fair, partly cloudy with a high of 84.
Partial lunar eclipse. You know what? The partial lunar eclipse of my heart will be happening also at around the same time. Right now in downtown Minneapolis, it is cloudy, 80 degrees on CC.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
He's an operator, baby.
Yes. On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Tracy Perlman, where are you at on partial lunar eclipses, or are you more of a total lunar eclipse guy?
Isn't a partial lunar eclipse just like the normal waxing and waning of the moon?
Yeah, sounds like it to me. Sounds pretty boring.
I don't understand how that works because the eclipse is when it does this, right? It goes beep, 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 excuse me, and then it keeps moving.
Right. The eclipse is when the moon passes through the shadow created by Earth. So you have the sun, then Earth, then the moon. Earth
is that not what creates the waxing and waning?
No, what creates the waxing and waning is the angle of the sun to the moon as the moon is orbiting us. And as
because it makes a shadow?
It doesn't make a shadow. The sun can only light up half of a planet or a moon at a time. So based on what angle the moon is to the sun creates either half dark or half light or whatever the phasing of the moon. It has nothing to do with Earth not casting a shadow on the moon to create the phases. It's only when it's an eclipse and in that full moon portion of its phase.
Tell me when there's a total eclipse.
I just fell
It's
I just
95%.
fell asleep. I don't know what happened.
It's 95%.
Partial sounds smaller, Dan.
Come on. There, Jason's got the graphic up. You can see it's 95% of the moon's going to be in the shadow. It's going to be nice. It won't be quite as red as it was 2 years ago, but it'll be pretty much the same.
So it's going to be red. It's not going to be like black and you can't see nothing.
So what happens is...
Can I look at it?
Yeah, you can absolutely look at it. This isn't
a contraption?
No. That's only for solar eclipses.
Can I have a contraption if I want one?
Should I charge my stones and my gemstones tomorrow?
Stop it. What's the matter with you?
The last time I charged my stones.
Easy. Don't make me hit the dump button. Look, so when it goes into the shadow, right, the sunlight's not hitting it directly, but there is light that's traveling through Earth's atmosphere to get to the moon. Earth's atmosphere scatters blue light, which leaves only the red, yellow, orangish end of the spectrum. So that's why the moon turns red when it's in full eclipse like that.
Nerd.
Would you call this
You guys ask the questions and then you're going to call me a nerd for answering your questions.
Partial blood moon?
Yeah.
Lunar?
Yeah, that's essentially what's happening.
What's the wolf moon?
Wolf moon is one of the full moons. So each month's full moon has some sort of agricultural designation or wildlife designation like that. So it's just referring to a specific moon's or a specific month's full moon.
The wolf moon is actually Anthony Edwards' famed pickup move when he's kind of picking up a new lady.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't he get married? He just got married.
Is he married?
He did. No, that was Kat. Did
Kat got married, but then I thought Ant got married too.
Oh, I wasn't invited, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess you would be the first to know, but according to people.com, they are married.
Oh,
July 6th.
congratulations.
July 6th.
and Anthony.
July 16th.
So here you guys are casting aspersions against a married man.
Allegedly.
That's, we don't know. None of our business. Tracy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Am I going to watch this? I don't know what kind of situation I'm going to be in when it's time for the lunar eclipse. Because first day of the state fair is tomorrow.
Listen, there's a lot happening. We know how much I love the fair.
I tell you what, Jason, because you're being kind of a food coma, just stay inside. You follow me on TikTok. I will live stream the eclipse for you on TikTok, and you can just watch it there.
Whenever I watch Dan live streaming on TikTok, it totally messes up my algorithm.
Yeah, it does do that.
Because like I'm
It's
on
normally
TikTok.
The links you send me mess up my algorithm.
Hey,
so.
That's fair.
Wait a minute.
I like when it comes to TikTok, I want like 1980s Chicago Cubs highlights. Like I want to see Harry Carey. I want old school Letterman. I want booby girls. Like those are the 1, 2, 3. That's what I want.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Our
What do you want?
algorithm's very different.
At least he's honest,
And subcategory, watch content, men's fashion. Like my algorithm, food. Although I don't really love online food content, to be honest. I make it. I don't want to consume it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Kind of
you gotta
weird.
see what's out there.
Do I?
But then you go and watch one of my live streams, and what do you get?
And then you're like, total eclipse of the moon.
Then it's like, then I'm getting like NASA updates and I'm getting ads for telescopes. Like
I do like NASA's content. Whoever is running their content is fantastic. Them and Sesame Street. I love those accounts.
What do you want in your algorithm? Like I laid out what I expect in mine.
For me, I like sports updates.
Okay.
If I'm going there, it's a lot of like pop culture. I want a quick snapshot of what's happening in pop culture because I'm not watching a lot of TV, so I'll get my quick references from that. That's kind of
about it.
I want a quick scroll. I want little nibbles, and then I'm going to move on my way. What I end up getting fed is like politics because I enjoy reading all of the reactions and responses and replies. So I do read all the comments because I enjoy the fighting that happens within the comments, especially on Twitter.
In our comments right now on YouTube, people are saying we've got Tina, who's like the eclipse is 96%.
There you go. Even
then
better.
It should be an almost total.
Do not.
Partial.
Yeah, I think
Don't
people
charge
are down.
my crystals. Thank you, Tina. I will keep my crystals inside.
And the
Sturgeon moon. You know what? I think you need Tina, not me, on right now. She knows way more than I do.
Well, but I don't care.
Tina, thank you for your service.
Yeah, I appreciate, like, I care in small doses. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That sort of sums up my reaction to most
Here's
things.
what happens with this usually, Tracy, is that I'll nerd out over some astronomy topic.
Yeah.
Jason will mock me ruthlessly for it. And then on the night that I'm streaming or I post a video, you know what? It's actually pretty cool. I'll get a text
This is
message.
neat. Yeah. Science stuff is cool. Remember when they spent
It
a
is
year
cool.
in space? Commander Mark Kelly?
I do.
Like, that was awesome. They grew lettuce.
Would you go to space? Like, if you could, would you go spend, say, a week in space?
Now, okay, so we're
Like,
talking
if you didn't have to
International
train-
Space Station, not Gail King and Katy Perry go.
No, not the fake. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
I think I would.
Yeah,
I
would too.
Absolutely pee my pants. I would be petrified, but I think I would do it.
I mean, I think you have to pee your pants.
I think they've got, the suit sort of takes
Yeah.
care of all
It
of
just
that.
takes
So
care
you're
of it.
good. Yeah.
I don't like roller coasters. Like, I'm not going to do the ejector seat at the fair. I'm not going to do a roller coaster. I don't like them. But I would go to space because I am fascinated by it. And one of my childhood best friends has a double PhD in like astrophysics and math. And we both went to public school together. So it is possible, kids. But like when she starts talking space stuff, I do get excited about it because it's cool. We don't have many opportunities to like have infinite knowledge of something. And there's just so much to know that's so niche when it comes to space and science that I find it fascinating to know how that stuff works and what it relates to for us and all of that.
651-461-9226. Would you go to space if you were given the opportunity? Also, would I? Unquestionably. Absolutely, I would. Now, 1 to 10, how pissed would Cook be if I got to go to space, though? Yeah.
475.
Yeah.
This is how the world works. I don't know.
I would go.
Not fair.
I do. I'm hoping and praying, and it's doubtful, but sometime in my life, if there's some sort of tourism industry to the moon, in a heartbeat, I would do that.
I would donate to your GoFundMe.
Thank
for
you.
that.
Thank you.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Such a philanthropist.
You can put that in the will just in case you kick
Just
before
in
that.
case, yeah. I'll transfer the car wash amount.
Yes. Perfect.
Goes directly there. Tracy, stand by. I want to talk about this move to show people, to teach excerpts of books. It's a move that has some wondering if we're done with reading. Are we in a post-literacy age? It's so fascinating. School is very different from what it was like when I went to school and Tracy and frankly, when my kids went to school. We'll talk about that when we come back with Tracy Perlman here on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, Jason here for my friends at J.H. and Sons at the Galleria in Edina. I was just at J.H. and Sons earlier this week, and I got to tell you, now is such a great time for you to get over to the Galleria and check out all that they have, because there's so much new clothing on the store. This is a time of year where I think a lot of us can use a little bit of a refresh. You don't need to redo your entire wardrobe. And J.H. and Sons is really cool about that. I was working with Alicia, and she's a terrific stylist. She's been a stylist in the Twin Cities for a while. One of the great things about working with Alicia is she's going to help you upgrade with pieces that will last a while. So I got a couple of sweaters, and right now a thinner sweater is really in as sort of a layering piece. Beautiful colors, beautiful fabrics from all over the world. When you go to J.H. and Sons, you get personalized service. And while I was in there, Bryce was over working with another guy who was trying on suit coats. And oh my gosh, the suits this guy was wearing were amazing. So check it out. jhandsons.com is where you can sign up for the email list. But the best thing to do is to get to the Galleria, get to the store, say hi to Alicia and Bryce and Chuck and Dean. Tell them you heard about J.H. and Sons from Drive Time with DeRusha.
What keeps you up at night? Do you wonder if what you've saved will be enough? If your money will go as far as you plan? Or whether your retirement will look the way you imagine? What worries you? Everyone's concern is different, but ignoring it won't make it disappear. This is Ron Paul. You may not be able to predict what comes next, but you can take steps now to diversify your savings with precious metals before uncertainty becomes urgency. My friends at Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit explaining how gold can help diversify your IRA or 401k. Just text the word SECURE to the number 989898. There's no cost and no obligation. Just free information to help you consider your option. Take the first step with Birch Gold. Text the word SECURE to the number 989898.
If you're planning to move to a senior living facility, you know firsthand that the wait lists are long, and when an opening pops up, you should take it right away. If you need to sell your house to make it happen, you're going to need to work quickly. My friends from the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, will make sure that your home sells when you need it to. Steve and Cheryl knew when they got to the top of the list, they needed to be ready. They heard me talking about John on the radio and called the Good Neighbor agent to come up with a plan. It made it so they didn't have to feel rushed and so that the short notice of their move wouldn't leave them stuck paying for 2 homes. When they got the call saying that a spot in a senior living center was open, they knew they had to act. Luckily, they'd already come up with a plan with John. He fired up the marketing system. Interest came in right away. Took him 2 days to find a buyer. That's it for Steve and Cheryl. Their home sold for $5,000 over asking price. They planned ahead. You should too. Curious what your home is worth? Go to johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. johnschustergroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
West 94 slowing as we make way toward Cretan over to Highway 280. 280 southbound, East 94, a bit of congestion there on the ramp. If you're going to be traveling on the south side metro, get ready for your slowdown. South 169, 494 to Old Shakopee Road. And over to the west, you're going to find North 169 jammed up, Highway 7 to Highway 55. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jordana Green here. I pray you and your family are always safe. But if there's ever a time where you need an advocate after an accident, let Mike Bryant of Bradshaw and Bryant help you. He will work with and for you in dealing with the insurance company. Call 800-770-7008 today. Bradshaw and Bryant, seeking justice for the injured.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Bradshaw and Bryant seeking justice for the injured. Bring us the weather forecast tonight, 62. Pretty nice looking night tonight. Tomorrow, first day of the State Fair, perfection. A high of 82, mostly sunny. Friday, a few more clouds, but 84. Looking good. Looking good. Right now, it is cloudy, but it's pleasant. St. Paul, home of Grand Casino Arena, where Tracy Perlman is. It's 80 on CCO.
Steering you through what matters. Drive time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Tracy Perlman with us live via video link up. You can always watch us stream our show on YouTube at the WCCO radio channel. We're on Facebook at WCCO radio as well. Tracy, are we at the end of reading? The end of literacy?
No.
Middle, you say no?
No. Sorry. That was a dramatic pause on your part. And I just.
It's all right. That's my fault.
I'm sorry.
The way we teach reading is different. 8th graders at one Washington, D.C. middle school used to read 4 books throughout the school year. That's about what I remember reading in middle school English class. Now they get 1 book and a lot of short-form text. The approach is very common now in middle and high school classrooms. And part of it, I think, is because the ACT and the SAT and the state standards tests are all about reading short-form text and synthesizing them and making sense of them. And as teachers have more and more incentive to teach to the test, and we are more and more obsessed with metrics as a way to indicate whether or not we're teaching our kids, it only makes sense that schools are assigning excerpts instead of books. But if you don't learn to read a book, Are you ever going to end up loving reading? I don't know. It's a strange approach to me. Or, well, maybe not strange because it makes sense, but it's sad, you know?
I think this makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons. I remember being assigned, I was in like AP Lit my senior year.
Yep.
I think we read 8 books that year. I did not read one cover to cover.
You didn't?
Did not.
AP?
Did not.
You're an AP student and you didn't read the dang book?
No. You read bits and parts of it.
I read all the books. I was such a nerd. I read all the books.
I had a social life to keep up with, Jason.
I worked at the high school radio station, so you can imagine the active social life I was
yearbook editor and captain of the cheerleading squad.
Yearbook is the fakest high school activity going.
I have a career now. It's fine. So here's my thought. I think if kids aren't going to read the whole book, let's not pretend like they're going to read the whole book. We'll get the lesson out of it that we need to learn. We can discuss the historical context that we want to discuss or whatever literary theories that you want to teach. And we can move on to the next thing. I'm a huge reader now, but that didn't start until I was out of college when I was reading for fun. You're not reading for fun when you're forcing down Emma and, Dostoevsky. What's his name? I don't even know. But
Dostoevsky. You would have learned that if you actually read the damn book.
But I think that you can get the lessons from those shorter excerpts without reading the whole thing. So let's not pretend like we're all going to sit and do it when they know everyone's cramming or going on to ChatGPT to get the quick literary notes or a Spark Notes or whatever people are using. Let's give shorter context, shorter essays, maybe inspire them to do their own short writings and get the lessons that way. You don't have to read a whole book to understand some of those theories that they're trying to get across.
The research backs up your thesis, Tracy. I know.
AP Lit. Thank you.
Nothing worse.
I also took AP Stats.
You got the try hard over here, and you got the one who just was coasting through. Mm-hmm. And sadly, the research seems to indicate that there's no empirical data to say that kids read better or think better with one way or the other. And this sense that kids are reading fewer books is not just parents yearning for the old days. In 2010, high school English teacher surveys said that students were reading about 4 books per school year. Now they read about 2.8 books. Big change. Yeah. What I worry about is not that you're not going to be a good thinker or you're not going to someday fall in love with reading for fun. I worry that we're just feeding into this super short attention span. And I get people are going there anyway. And I am guilty of this too. It's hard to sit down and read 100 pages of a book when I used to do that with no problem.
And not just sit down and read it to find the time, but to sit down and understand it. I can tell when like I said, I really like to read. I usually read about 2 books a month, maybe now. And I will read a whole chapter and my brain is somewhere else because I'm still thinking about work or a conversation I have to have or whatever.
Yeah.
So I do think that's part of it too, is that we do need to be overstimulated all the time. And so things you got to think about,
Someday when we're dead, Tracy, researchers are going to look at our brain and they're going to be like, my God, what were these people doing? It's all jumbled up.
Streaming Twitter for moon pictures.
Happy National Dog Day, Tracy.
Thanks. We love you, Poppy.
Aw, very nice. Thanks, Tracy. We'll see you at the fair.
Bye,
358 Continental Diamond. Time check is 3:58. Time to get out to that locally owned jewelry emporium, my headquarters for pre-owned watches.
It's time to get everything you need for the job from one partner. No more juggling vendors. We've got your entire job supply covered. Supply the entire job with job lot quantities of everything you need, from flooring to roofing, with access to thousands of products not available in stores. More products mean more colors, sizes, and finishes, so you can get exactly what you need to get the job done. Learn more at the Pro Desk, the Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Cozy season is ahead, and you'll be spending way more time inside. Is your home ready? Don't worry. With Wayfair, you can upgrade your space without breaking the bank. Score up to 70% off during their Labor Day clearance on furniture, area rugs, mattresses, and more. Plus, surprise flash deals you can't miss. Whether it's one room or the whole house, Wayfair has pieces for every style and budget.
Shop Wayfair's Labor Day clearance now through September 7th at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Minnesota's source for news, weather, traffic, talk, and Twins baseball. News Talk 830 WCCO. KMNB HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Meta reaching a landmark settlement today with 52 state attorneys general to settle claims Facebook and Instagram posed a mental health threat to minors. The social media giant agreeing to pay $18 billion to add protections to its apps, including a 2-hour daily limit for users under 18. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
What we're looking at here is an agreement that effectively concedes that some of the design features on these apps got young users addicted, and the states had claimed that that contributed to harming the mental health of these young users, and now Meta will be forced to make these changes.
The settlement still needs court approval. A federal judge who had blocked the most controversial aspects of President Trump's executive order aimed at restricting mail-in ballots, namely employing the Postal Service as the primary enforcer of mail voter eligibility, has now lifted the decision following the Supreme Court's ruling this week that legal challenges are premature. It gives the Trump administration the green light to move forward, but the mail ballot executive order could face new legal challenges. Flash flooding in Nepal now blamed for more than 150 deaths. Hundreds still listed as missing, including 47 American tourists.
The rescue operation is underway. Where this took place, near the border with China, is a popular destination with tourists. And according to the Nepalese Tourism Board, nearly 400 tourists are missing. The army has urged people to remain on high alert and to stay in safe places.
A judge has granted Brian Kohberger a new hearing in his bid to reverse his guilty plea for the murders of 4 Idaho college students in 2022. Kohberger pleaded guilty in July 2025 after nearly 3 years of insisting on his innocence. He was sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences, a new hearing now set for next summer. Fans are paying tribute to country music icon and humanitarian Dolly Parton, who died yesterday. Her publicist says it followed a brief battle with cancer. You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice, every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Partly cloudy skies, 79 degrees at 4:02. Good afternoon. We are following a developing story this afternoon out of Texas where a federal judge is refusing to allow the extradition of an ICE agent facing charges here in Minnesota. Christian Castro is charged in Hennepin County with assault and falsely reporting a crime in the January 14th shooting of an immigrant in Minneapolis. But Texas Governor Greg Abbott has refused to allow him to be extradited, claiming that Texas was investigating Castro as a possible fugitive. The judge agreeing with that. Twin Cities defense attorney Jack Rice.
This is an extraordinary ruling, and it's really unusual because normally we don't see sitting governors actually stopping extraditions.
Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty is holding a news conference this hour to react to that ruling. Minnesota has just won a major settlement with Meta, just as a new lawsuit is filed trying to block limits on mail-in voting. WCCO's Taylor Rivera has details.
Meta agreed to pay billions to several states, including Minnesota, and to lock in strict safety guards to keep kids off endless scrolling loops. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison.
Meta will impose limits on features that kids use to compare and compete with each other, including beauty filters and visible like counts that have been linked to poor mental health for kids.
He says the state's ongoing lawsuit against TikTok is still slowly moving toward a trial sometime near the end of 2027. Ellison's office also just filed a fresh challenge to block presidential limits on mail-in voting.
The United States Constitution devotes time, place, and manner terms to the states. They do it. It's in there for a reason. It's so that no president can just capture American elections.
The suit comes with the November midterm election just around the corner.
WCCO's Taylor Rivera reporting an 18-year-old man has pled guilty to killing 10-year-old Lily Peters in Wisconsin 4 years ago. He was then given a life sentence with the possibility of extended supervision for 25 years after that. Carson Petersberger pled guilty to first-degree intentional homicide during a hearing today in Chippewa County. Lily Peters was reported missing by her father on April 24th, 2022, when she left her aunt's house but failed to return. Her body was found in the woods near her aunt's home the following morning. After the proceedings, some of Lily's family spoke with WEAU in Eau Claire.
We can start to look more towards healing and more towards sharing that spirit that you've heard of from so many people about Lily.
Petersberger was 14 years old at the time and told investigators he planned to rape and kill Lily Peters from the get-go on that Sunday night when he started following her down a trail after she left her aunt's home. A new state commission meeting today, starting to put together Minnesota's new Office of Inspector General. The bipartisan group of lawmakers is calling on the creation of the independent agency, the most significant anti-fraud legislation in history after more than a year of debate at the state capitol. GOP State Senator Michael Cruen.
Well, we finally got here. The Office of Inspector General is happening. We're going to get this off the ground, and it's going to make a big difference in Minnesota.
And the commission's first order of business is to look for an inspector general, which then expected to all be done in January. WCCO News Time is 4:05.
For all the things you have to do and places you need to be, let Uber take you there. Because there are nights out, airport trips, and car troubles in your area, there are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Update is brought to you by Uber. Traveling South 35E, get ready for stop and go stop as make way past Victoria Street, heading down to Shepherd Road. In the mix is a report of a crash in Randolph Avenue, rather it is. Traveling Cedar South, still jammed up 494 to Highway 13, up in the North Metro, 694 eastbound. That's a slow ride, 252 over to Central. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The moon will be nearly full tonight. It does go full tomorrow night. 62 the overnight low tonight. Mostly sunny tomorrow for the first day of the state fair. Looks awesome. 82, not too humid, not too shabby on Friday either. Partly cloudy with a high of 84.
Right now, partly cloudy and 79 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
You can hear about the story anywhere, but there's only one place where you get to talk about it. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
The way we start school in this state is ridiculous. It's time to get with the times and get away from this Labor Day start date. It's Jason. Welcome to Drive Time. We're starting school way too late this year. And Matt, on our Facebook page, where he's watching this show streaming live on WCCO Radio's Facebook page, says, the school year should run from September through May. Every day we start late is a day we need to go into June. Do you agree with Matt? 651-461-9226. This comes up this year and next year because we have very late Labor Days. And I mean, this comes up every 5 or 6 years, right? And we've tried all sorts of different stuff with school start date, but we are still scheduling our school year around the state fair, around the harvest, around the desires of the resorts in greater Minnesota. And what are we doing? What are we doing with this? Now, the truth is, kids who are in high school, if they are working, right? Like that was a concern for resort owners. Well, we don't want to start school early. And by early, today is August 26th. And most kids are not going back to school until, the 8th? September 8th? It's ridiculous. All around the country, like my sister is a school teacher, 6th grade teacher in suburban Chicago. They started this week. A lot of the country starts the 17th. I just don't understand what the justification is other than this is always the way we've done it. The law has a bit of a loophole right now that is letting schools start early. So some of the districts, and you're seeing this all over the state, this sort of temporary start for schools. And we have a law in Minnesota that is very unusual. The latest data indicates that 70% of public school students around the country go back to school before September. Well, do those other states have no resorts? They have no summer jobs with high schoolers? Like, why are we holding out? This year, 4 of our 10 largest districts, Rosemount, Apple Valley, Eagan, Elk River, Rochester, and Wayzata, are welcoming some students back before Labor Day. 42 districts have exemptions that say you can start early. Why aren't we starting early? Why are we still starting after Labor Day? I just think it's a bad idea. 651-461-9226. It's time to change the law and let school districts start whenever they want to start. Let the local school district decide. You could say, well, we're not going to start before August 15th. I don't know. Why have that in the law? Why would anyone do that? If your local district wants to start August 1st, I guess, I hope all those schools have air conditioning. I mean, texter says, look, not all schools have AC. Don't start school early then. Is it never hot in September? I don't know. Our kids start on this can't be right. Texter says start on July 31st because Labor Day is so late this year. No, maybe August. Roseville starts next week, says a texter. Stillwater started 2 weeks ago. Now, one texter disagrees. School in Minnesota should start after Labor Day because of the state fair. Texter says on YouTube, the host is how old? Me? You talking to me, Cindy? Cindy, I'm 51. I grew up in suburban Chicago, and I read books in my AP English class, unlike these Minnesota kids reading their excerpts. I'm 65. We started school the day after Labor Day. My kids went to public school. Some year they changed the schedule to mid-August because in mid-August, the city pools close. Now, the city of Minneapolis had a waiver for a while where they were trying something out in Minneapolis. They were starting school earlier and making the school year a little longer, trying to see if that improved student academic performance. Spoiler alert, it did not. And so they no longer are allowed to do that. And how dumb is that? If Minneapolis wants to start school on August 15th, August 20th, why should the state care? Why is this a state rule? Ridiculous. Jason, if you were a resort order dependent on the precious few weeks of summertime in Minnesota to make the majority of your income, I bet you'd see it differently. I love our resort owners, but we should not be setting our back-to-school policy based on resorts. I also question how much business are you getting in this state fair week? Because most schools are not going to start on August 10th because we don't have air conditioning in every school. Most schools, if they're going to start early, are going to start right now. You would start this week, the last week of August, or maybe the second to last week of August, right? It would have nothing to do with Labor Day. Our kids aren't going back to school for 2 more weeks? Yeah, 2 more weeks. It's ridiculous. Cindy is very nice. She says, I look younger than 51. Oh, my gosh, Cindy, you can comment anytime. Now I'm blushing. Fridley starts September 1st, says a texter. Yeah, a lot of schools this year are starting early. My point is that all of them should be able to start whenever they want to start. If you are a school district in a resort community where many high schoolers are working for the resort, start after Labor Day. You should be able to choose. I don't see what state goal is accomplished. Now, I guess the question that the resort owner is suggesting is that, well, families are vacationing. But is that real? Like, I guess I was always just skeptical of that. If you're a parent with kids who are going back to school, do you schedule that resort trip during State Fair week? It seems unlikely. A lot of texters telling me exactly what the premise of the segment is. The legislature is allowing schools to start next week for this year because of the late Labor Day. My point is that should be the permanent policy. We need to get rid of this. We can't start school until after Labor Day permanently. What we're doing this year is correct, and it should always be this way. Am I right or am I wrong? 651-461-9226. Drive Time with more of your feedback. Back in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I have got a State Fair freebie for you, something absolutely free, and it's critical. It's not just a fun thing at the fair. You are going to need this, and it is water. Jason here for the Culligan Hydration Station, one of my absolute favorite go-tos at the Minnesota State Fair. It's near the Snelling entrance. And you go there and you get that sweet, sweet Culligan water. You can bring your own water bottle from home. You should bring water bottles for your kids, for your parents, whoever's coming with you. Bring those water bottles and then get over to the Culligan Hydration Station, fill that bad boy up. Years ago, you couldn't bring your own water bottle. Now you can. And once you taste that Culligan water, I'm telling you, you are going to want to have a conversation with one of the Culligan hydration experts. That's what I did. And now at my home, we have a Culligan reverse osmosis water system under our kitchen sink. And it feeds into our ice maker, too, in the refrigerator. And that is cool. Like, my ice is beautiful. You don't get any of that residue. And I had the experts come out and check my water. And Culligan, they got it going. They got it going. It is delicious, clean Minnesota water. Culligan gets it done. Water softener, they got you covered there, too. Big savings at the State Fair, too, up to $500 on qualifying equipment. So go fill up that water bottle and then talk to my friends at Culligan. We'll see you at the State Fair and see you at the Culligan Hydration Station.
Gear up this fall with the new All-Pro battery by Steel. Tackle any task with 60% more peak power. Exclusively available only at your local Steel dealer. 60% peak power comparison between AP300PC and AP300S.
Don't even think about putting your clubs away this offseason. It's Jason DeRusha. Fall leagues are back and better than ever at Launchpad Golf. Leagues start the week of September 14th, and this season, prizes are bigger and better, plus our brand new weekly birdie hole challenge can feed your group if you shoot them straight. Grab your friends. It's time to golf and dine at your favorite new weekday get-together. Learn more and sign up today while spots last at my favorite hangout, launchpadgolf.com in Prior Lake.
Hey, NFL fans, Netflix has can't miss action this season, starting with the league's first ever regular season game in Australia as the Rams take on the 49ers live from Melbourne. Then stick around for Netflix's first ever Thanksgiving Eve matchup, a Christmas Day doubleheader, and a Week 18 finale. It's a massive season of NFL action. Watch Rams versus 49ers Thursday, September 10th at 8:35 p.m. Eastern, live on Netflix.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jason DeRusha.
I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's been funny for years.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
You know, sometimes in this job, you think, did I mess this up? Do you guys not get what I'm saying? I think I did. Like, if you guys don't understand where I'm coming from, I have failed. So let me lay it out. Minnesota needs to get rid of the Labor Day start for school. Get rid of it. Let local districts start whenever they want. Not just this year, not just when Labor Day is late. Get rid of it. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It is a relic from the days when high school kids were the key workforce at our resorts, and they were needed, and farms. And that's not the reality of today. Today, I believe the number one reason that we start school late is because of the state fair. And while that is adorable, and I love the state fair, that is how we are making our education policy? That is how we are deciding when to send kids back to school? It makes no sense. Now, year-round school is interesting. Lots of texts, lots of comments on Facebook and YouTube about year-round school. I have mixed feelings on year-round school. I have mixed feelings about it. First of all, I don't know that we have enough schools that have air conditioning to make that doable. Second of all, you got to figure out what are you going to do with teacher pay and teacher contracts? Because teachers signed up under this system. And in the middle of it to be like, well, now we're going to year round and we're going to pay you the same. Yeah, I don't know about that. Justine on Facebook says schools don't need to start so early. What are the kids actually learning? Nothing much. Another comment coming in on Facebook from Jason. I don't know why schools need to be in such a rush to get started. Our local kids started today and it broke my heart. Kids ought to be at the fair this week and next, not sitting in school. It ain't right. To me, the state fair is not a valid reason to start school after Labor Day. Frankly, we have too many people at the fair as it is. Let's get some of these kids in school. Then I can find a park and ride spot. It's better for me. Our kids are slipping, says a texter, and can use all the days in school they can get. Send them back mid-August, let them out early June. Most summers for European kids are 8 to 10 weeks. This is a texter as a father of a kid entering her senior year. I do think that would be the better way to go. I'm not suggesting that we need to air condition every school and have kids sitting in class through June. The reality is no matter when you end the school year, you're going to have 2 weeks of slop at the end of the school year, right? Kids are tired. They're restless. Teachers are tired, restless. But if you start a little earlier, to me, that time can be productive. Texter says, interview a lobbyist for the business orgs. They'll tell you why. I just think what is the business argument? Resorts. This is sort of vague resorts. I just would like to see the data that indicates that it is really that significant. I think we're just stuck in this is how it used to be.
And even if that were the case, why are we letting business dictate our education system?
Yeah.
That seems wholly backwards to me.
I mean, all the data on young people is that they're not working at the same level we were working 30, 40 years ago, even 20 years ago. So if you're, I am empathetic to the resort argument, right? You're trying to eke out whatever business you can. But when 30 states around the country are going back before September, all of those states have resorts. They do. We didn't invent resorts. Ours are the best. But, you know what I mean? Jason, doesn't year-round school still have a nice multi-week summer break, but also other smaller week-long breaks during same number of school days? That's generally how it goes. Usually, if you go year-round, you go a little longer, but you take like these sort of J terms, like a 2 or 3 week break. If you're a parent, is that better? I don't know. I don't know. It is funny. You think, in many ways, I think about this a lot, Dan. Like if we were to design a school system for today's economy and for today's lifestyle, it would be different.
It would look almost nothing like what we have right now.
The majority of families out there have 2 parents working.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have a school day that starts at 8:30 and ends at 3? I don't think so.
Probably not, no.
You'd figure out some other way to do it. The classes would probably be different. Would you go year-round? Maybe. I think you have to, if you're just sliding the school year around and shifting when the days off are, what does that get you, I guess? I know the theory is that you have less brain drain, but I don't know. Lois Olson is with us. The special drive time take. We must have set him off. Blois, you're mad at Cook?
Well, I've been holding back for the last couple of days, but I couldn't hold back any longer after Dan Cook's comment about why are we letting business dictate our education system?
Yeah.
And so just for you youngins over there, it started with agriculture. That's
Right.
why school started.
Yeah.
Then tourism.
We said that. Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. I just want to set the table.
All right.
Before Cook went off the hook. The reality
Blois,
is,
if you ask most in Minnesota, when they look at our academic performance, for sure you say, like, we're doing so great. Why would we ever ask business what they want?
Right, exactly, right? So first of all, business cares because of workforce. If we don't have a workforce, then we're not going to have business.
Correct.
I actually may have just been editing a piece on this this afternoon. But the reality is, it's not about when, it's about how. That's the discussion. How are our kids learning? How do they best learn? We've gotten away from the basics. We got to get back to the basics.
Agreed.
And so business isn't dictating anything, Cook. Business just wants good, educated workers like you, Dan Cook.
Do you think?
And intelligent.
Now, Blois, you work a lot with Hospitality Minnesota, and they do, of course, are the voice for restaurants, but also for hotels and resorts around Minnesota.
Yep.
There used to be this argument where we said, okay, we need to start after Labor Day to protect the resorts. And I guess I've always been a little skeptical of the idea that if we let schools start 1 or 2 weeks earlier, is that really when a significant number of families are booking that last gasp vacation? It just sort of feels like I wouldn't want to book a vacation the week before I send my kids back to school or during State Fair week. I don't know.
You don't even take your kids on vacation,
That's
Director.
true.
So, I mean, all these
It's called get to work. It's called get to work. That's what I want my kids doing.
It takes away revenue. It takes away employees from those resorts. I mean, I know that when I'm in the Brainerd area, I actually, this year, because of immigration, saw that like the workforce up there is no longer, I mean, it was largely Jamaican in some of the bigger resorts.
But Brainerd could do a different thing, right? I'm just saying get the state out of the way and let a local district decide whatever they want to do. If you're Brainerd, start after Labor Day.
I think they can. Stillwater started last week.
Well, Stillwater always comes up with some fraudulent, we've got this construction going on, and they get a waiver for that.
For Stillwater.
No, I'm not in the tank for Stillwater. I'm a free agent right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, if Stillwater wants to make an offer.
Yeah, of course. Then I'll change my tune.
I mean, Cook's people up in Maple Grove do not want to go to school, start school earlier.
That's for sure. They're still working on the construction of their high school. It's an absolute disaster up there right now. Yeah.
So I agree, local control and pace it out throughout the year. But if you're going to talk about schools, it's got to be about how we're teaching our kids, not when.
Agree with that. I hope we have some conversation on that during the governor's race, right? Because that's one of the disappointments for me in the Walz term was that they didn't really do anything about the way we fund education. And a missed opportunity, I think.
Is he a teacher? Oh, sorry, I got to go.
Blois Olson. Just, I mean, it's easy. You take the Walz cheap shots because he's on the way out. Why not? Let's break. In just a minute, we're going to talk about a new documentary that is coming out about Jacob Wettlerling, Echoes in the Night, one of the most pivotal cases in the history of this state. It changed Minnesota parenting and childhood forever. A screening of this documentary that you guys are going to want to hear about. It took national attention after being on 2020 in July. We'll talk with the filmmaker, the director, in just a minute on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
All right, News Talk 830 WCCO State Fair setup. Mic check 1. Good, thanks. If not a little over modulated. Okay, let's test the headphones. Clear and a little off-putting. Checking remote feed.
Hey, Chris, you hear us okay?
Perfect. We're almost ready. Now we just need that pergola from Linda's construction finished.
Yep, we're constructing an even better place for you to come and hang out with your favorite shows. Hope to see you at the Great Minnesota.
Am I going to be live on video?
830 WCCO.
Going to be live on video?
Shiver me timbers.
Yes.
You're in a nautical mood. It's always smooth
We'll
sailing.
be with you here in just a few minutes. Stand by.
Borofka's easy breezy trade-in policy.
$100 off anything $2,000 or more. Upgrade and save at the same time.
Lower the boom and make some room for new furniture at Borofka's.
Oh, Jim. Borofka's. No gimmicks, haggling, or hard to understand pricing. In Woodbury and Burnsville.
Decidedly smooth sailing.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices, $399 a month. Sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-619-3377. That's 800-619-3377. 800-619-3377.
Chad back here with you. I want to talk about trust and peace of mind. We all need it, in particular in some areas, including your insurance. Maybe it's for your business, or maybe it's more traditional with your house and your car. For me, I have trusted Amber Scholl and Associates with American Family for what are you guessing, 5 years, 10 years? No. My entire family, whether it's my father or my kids, with American Family, with Amber in particular, for 30 years. We dread something bad happening with our house, with a car accident, but we need people with expertise, with professionalism and availability, and that's what Amber and her team are all about. Reach out to them today. It's worth it. Trust me. 651-738-4811.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Fairly busy out there. South 35 being included. St. Clair heading down to Randolph. If you're going to be traveling 35W northbound into Minneapolis, that's a slow go as you come up from 42nd. If you're traveling eastbound 694, that's jammed up pretty much as you come in from Shingle Creek Parkway all the way out toward Highway 10. South 169 jammed up 494 to Old Shakopee Road. USPS Round Advantage, reliable route, no issues for East 94. Highway 61 heading out toward the Wisconsin border. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Gutman Law bringing us the CCO weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Just a few clouds overnight tonight as we fall back to 62 with that bright moon. Plenty of sunshine for the first day of the fair tomorrow. 82 the afternoon high, not humid. Don't forget we have the partial lunar eclipse tomorrow night where just after 11 o'clock, the moon will take on a reddish appearance. Friday looks good for the second day of the fair, partly cloudy with a high of 84.
Oh, that eclipse. I'm just aroused by it. 80 degrees in Minneapolis here on CCO.
Drive time with DeRusha.
I wish you weren't right, but you are.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
It changed the way we all think about child safety.
One of the biggest mysteries really in the nation.
This guy just appeared out of nowhere and said, "Stop, I got a gun."
How old is the individual that has not returned?
11.
It's Jacob, right?
Jacob Wettlerling.
Jacob Wettlerling was abducted by a masked man.
The abduction of Jacob Wettlerling was such a huge deal.
A story that resonated throughout the world.
We still don't know who took Jacob.
Scenes from the documentary Echoes in the Night, telling the story that is such a part of life in Minnesota and has become a story that has resonated around the country and around the world with recent media attention and partially with some of the attention that Chris Newberry has shined on it. He is the director of Echoes in the Night, and he joins us via video link up on Drive Time with DeRusha. Chris, it's good to visit with you.
Nice to be with you.
And we'll give people some details. There's some showings of this going on at the St. Michael's Cinema, at the Quarry Cinema in Cold Spring, St. Cloud area, and then in Woodbury and in Minneapolis coming in a couple of days as well. But tell me what it was. What's your story? I feel like everyone in Minnesota has a way that they got drawn in. Besides just the fact that obviously it changed childhood for anybody that's in our age range, for sure.
Yeah, well, it's related. My story is related to what you were just talking about. I mean, I was 15 when Jacob was abducted. Jacob was 11. I lived in Minnetonka. That's where I grew up. And, when that happened, all around Minnesota, certainly here in the Twin Cities, we were blasted with the news. It's continued to capture people's imagination here over the decades. And so the story really impacted me, like a lot of people my age. And, basically anyone who was in Minnesota at that time, whether you were a kid, a parent, or just really anybody, you were impacted by it and remember it well. So that's my story. When I was an adult and a parent myself, I was looking for a new project as a documentary filmmaker and thought that why not try and tell that story.
What has some of the extra national attention that really came through that 2020 episode? I think that brought this story to the nation. That to a certain degree, this has been our story when we finally got an answer as to what had happened. I mean, I think, Chris, I moved here about 24 years ago, and I remember being a very young reporter sent out to interview Patty Wettlerling in her house. And anybody who's been a reporter in this town long enough at some point interviewed Patty Wettlerling. And it's one of those sort of, there's certain people that you meet and you say, whoa, like this is a different person. To go through what she went through on a personal level, and then the fight for the national sort of registry of missing kids and what she has done with her pain over the years is amazing. And at the same point, that pain is such a part of her existence, right? You just can't imagine what it's like to lose your son in this fashion, especially.
Yeah, I mean, Patty's amazing. And the national news, when the abduction happened, and you can see some old clips in the film, it made national news. It was one of those really scary stories of a stranger abduction of a child. And so it did garner attention around the nation in 1989 when it happened. That sort of faded away for the national media. And as the years went by, there would be some TV specials, news specials on national TV that would bring attention to it again. There was, and maybe that's what you're alluding to, there was a very recent 2020 episode that did 2 hours on the Wettlerling story. And we showed a few clips from our documentary, and I was interviewed. So we were able to be a part of that this time around and bring some attention to our documentary through that 2020 episode. But
Chris, and when you started working on this, and we're talking with Chris Newberry, who's the director of Echoes in the Night, you started working on this at, to say a fortuitous time would be understating the issue, because your team started working on this, the week when the perpetrator was arrested? I mean, you started in 2015, really, right? And that was sort of go time for this, for a resolution that no one wanted, but thank goodness we got that bit of closure, right?
Yeah. So the arrest of Danny Heinrich happened in late 2015, and that was that happened to be just a coincidence that it was about, a week and a half after I had, had one final meeting with Patty and Jerry Wettlerling to make sure that they were, comfortable with going ahead with the documentary, and they obliged. And so then, I was supposed to start filming with them, and I got a call from Patty Wettlerling one morning and said, we're going to have to change our plans because something really big is happening. Turn on your TV. And that's when there was the press conference about the arrest. To their credit, they, even with this like big, complete hurricane rushing through their lives again, this new big news about a big change in the case, they still were willing to let me be there. So I was filming there that first weekend after the arrest. Then 10 months later is when finally there was the confession.
Yeah. Chris, when people have seen other documentaries, there have been other films on this, there's been news coverage, but your documentary has a number of elements that I think are going to be new and interesting for people. Tell people some of the things that make Echoes of the Night different.
Well, I mean, I think one of the big things is that, as we were just talking about, there was the confession in 2016, which was right on the heels of Danny Heinrich leading authorities to the place where they could find Jacob's remains. And so we found, Jacob was found after all those years.
Yeah.
Now, what we kept doing is we continued to work on the film. Naturally, news media covered it for a little while, unpacking some of the information we learned during the confession and covered some of the sentencing and that sort of thing. But over the months, naturally, the news media kind of went away to other things, but we stayed with it. And so I think one of the really unique things about what we captured was in the aftermath, learning how problematic the idea of closure can be for victims and survivors of crime, and just how complicated that can still be for people even years after there's a quote unquote conclusion.
This was, the fact that we're around State Fair time, because I remember it was State Fair time when the remains were found. And I got to tell you, I definitely, just like everybody in Minnesota, you sort of hoped, you kind of knew, you're like, yeah, he's probably dead. But there was hope, right? That someday, maybe. And I just remember the profound sadness, and yet the fact that the Wetterlings didn't have to wonder anymore, And you went through some of those moments with them.
Yeah, to some degree, and we've captured, at least the reflections on that weekend. We have a pretty profound moment in the film about that. And Jason, you were probably at the State Fair, because so many of the
we were all brought back. I remember Frank and Amelia back in my Channel 4 days, but this was Jennifer Mayerly, who was brand new at CCO. Bill Hudson was on this core story. Esme Murphy, Caroline Lowe. I remember it vividly.
And we're actually this year, just in next week or roundabout there, is going to be the 10-year mark of that confession.
Wow.
So we're right around the corner from that. Yeah, I mean, it was as you kind of mentioned, the people needed answers. We really wanted answers as just like the public watching from afar. That the story had spellbound us for all those years. We really wanted answers too, for ourselves, but especially for the Wettlerling family. And of course they wanted answers, but it can't help but be mixed emotions when what the resolution is learning that he actually died that night that he went missing.
Well, if people go to jacobwetterlingfilm.com, there's a theatrical schedule. I know you're doing some Q&As. Do you have one at the Woodbury 10 Theater? There's a show tonight there, and you're...
Yep, I'm headed over to Woodbury in a few minutes.
So people can check that out, but then you'll be back at the main cinema in Minneapolis, and the whole schedule's for you there. But eventually it'll come to streaming, but for now it's in theaters, and really fascinating stuff. Thank you so much, Chris, for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Chris Newberry is the director of Echoes in the Night, the search for Jacob Wettlerling. Drive time back in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Let's talk about getting in and taking care of your skin. It's Jason here for Tureen Dermatology, TureenDermatology.com. Dr. Mohiba Tureen is my dermatologist. And over the next week and a half, a lot of us are going to be spending a lot of time outside, a lot of time at the state fair. And I want you to wear that sunscreen. I put on sunscreen every morning. It's just part of my skincare routine. Oh, some of the guys out there saying skincare routine. What are you talking about? Thanks to Dr. Mohiba Tureen and the team at Tureen Dermatology, I do take care of my skin better. I'm getting older. I don't want my skin to look like a raisin. Dr. Tureen can help you with that as well. They are the experts at Tureen Dermatology, medical, surgical, cosmetic dermatology. They've got it all. And if you go to their website, Tureen, T-A-R-E-E-N, dermatology, you can request an appointment. New patients get in within 3 weeks. Pretty cool. You can call 651-633-6883. They have locations all over the area: Roseville, Faribault, Maplewood, Monticello, Hudson, Farmington. They just opened in Sandstone, Menominee, and Osceola. The goal is to go to places where people have to wait too long. They don't want you to wait. You got a mole that needs to be checked out. You've got acne. You've got eczema. Go see the experts. Tureen, T-A-R-E-E-N, dermatology.com.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents?
Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know that feeling when your body is tired, but your brain just won't shut off? We've all been there. Jordana here. That's where CBN comes in. CBN, short for cannabinol, is a naturally occurring hemp cannabinoid known for its relaxing, sleepy effects. Think of it like the lights dimming signal for your brain. While CBD helps you stay calm, CBN helps your body know it's time to rest. That's why we call it CB Night Night. Mini Leaf Night and Night Plus Sleep Gummies combine CBN, CBD, and CBG to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, and then wake up feeling refreshed. Go to minileaf.com, MINNELEAF.com. And here's big news. If you need your product today, there's no wait. Stop into any of the 16 top 10 liquor locations for better sleep tonight.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us.
I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on.
And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
94 westbound near Highway 280, vehicle left behind from an earlier crash, keeping things slow past Cretin Avenue, pretty much all into downtown Minneapolis. Traveling 169 northbound, jammed up Excelsior Boulevard to Highway 55, 494 northbound, watching slowdowns there as make the run between basically 169 and heading up toward Carlson Parkway. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
I love this time of year, and so do your Minnesota pork farmers. Pork turns up the flavor at every backyard hang. Taste what porkcando.com has recipes galore. Get to the butcher shop and grocery store, and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast brought to you by Minnesota Pork, which I'm going to tell you about a pork chop I had last night in just a minute. But first, I'm going to tell you the weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer. Tonight, 62 is the low. Should be good. Tomorrow, first day of the fair, perfect. Mostly sunny, 82. Friday, 84. Saturday, we're watching for the storm. I bet we're going to get skunked again. You know, Dan, we need the rain. We need the rain. Cloudy right now, 81 on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha, where the conversation's always in drive. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I cry my eyes wide. Elizabeth Taylor, tell me for real. Do you think it's forever?
Here it is. If you're watching on our live stream, a delicious Minnesota pork chop from the Minneapolis Club last night. Sitting out on the patio with my wife and my son, and Seth was eating good. And so were Alyssa and I sharing that beautiful pork chop. So you can make a dinner reservation anytime. You don't have to be, I'm a member. You should be a member. But if you're not a member, you can go online and make a reservation for Charlie's, or just go to the Minneapolis Club right downtown. Pretty cool stuff. So, Dan, I thought it was interesting this afternoon. I'm looking at Instagram. And
like you do,
I saw a lot of
lunar eclipse preparation.
No.
Oh,
I saw a lot of action around Olympian from Minnesota and professional women's hockey player Taylor Heise.
Yeah. Just got married.
And now she's Taylor Fox. And I'm an old married man, so I don't know if I'm allowed to think that it's cool that she's taking her husband's name.
I don't see why you wouldn't be allowed to think that.
I feel like if I say I think it's cool, it's going to be like, well, of course you do. You trad wife, MAGA, but everything gets so coded, you know?
Sure. And how often do you actually sit and listen to those people?
Why? Hear them, but I do not listen.
Exactly.
That is true.
Exactly.
I think it's cool that a young woman is taking her husband's name, because there are some things that are part of the history, the social fabric of our people. And part of that tradition is when you marry, part of the symbolism is you come together with one name. Now, if he had taken her name, would I think that's weird? Yes.
Yeah, you would.
Would I be bothered by it? Absolutely not. Now, if my son took his wife's name, I would think that's weird.
I think the interesting angle with this is she's built something of a brand as Taylor Heise.
Yep.
And now she's going to be Taylor Fox, which is 1,000% her choice to do. But does that translate? If people see Taylor Fox now, are they going to think Taylor Heise and everything that Taylor Heise had going on, in terms of just marketing? How does that all work? How does that factor into the decision? I think that's an interesting idea.
What I sort of love about it, and she has 100,000 Instagram followers. So she, now her husband, Parker, has 11,000 followers. You could make the case that he should have taken her name. I think fans are going to figure it out. Continental Diamond. Time check. 4:57. Susie Jones straight ahead.
Saving money in your next project? Now at Menards. From smoke and carbon monoxide alarms to fire extinguishers and more, Kidde Home Safety products will help keep your family safe in case of emergencies. Get peace of mind today with a new Kidde smoke alarm featuring over 25% faster detection. Plus, don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Why sell your house the hard way when you can sell it the easy way? When you say yes to a guaranteed cash offer from Chris Lindahl Real Estate, you can skip the line, get in the fast lane, and get a fresh start in life. Go to chrislindahl.com.
Terms and conditions apply.
I felt a jackhammering pain in my jaw.
Like someone sawing my bones.
Barbed wire in my shoulder.
Like a cattle prod in my hip.
Like I put my foot in a blender.
Pain is different for everyone. But where pain starts, Journavx suzetrigine begins. Journavx is a non-opioid 50 milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain. Before those signals tell the brain to feel
like I punched an angry beehive.
And pain reduction can finally begin. Do not take Journavx with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems, as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Journavx may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes. To learn more about Journavx, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit journavx.com.
At Wealth Enhancement, we believe wealth is in the details. Our team of trusted advisors craft personalized solutions to help you achieve your financial goals. Tune in to the Your Money Show on News Talk 830 WCCO every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. or go to wealthenhancement.com to connect with one of our advisors.
News Talk 830 WCCO, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The death toll is jumping following catastrophic flooding in Nepal. More than 150 people have died, over 400 others listed missing, including 47 American tourists. ABC's Tom Sufi Burrich has more.
Multiple regions of Nepal are impacted. The destruction, I think, is impossible to quantify at this point in time. Multiple rivers flooded, a huge search and rescue operation now underway. But I think it's important to point out that reaching the affected areas will be complex. And not only is it mountainous terrain, but of course the roads and the bridges are very much impacted in that area. One report I read earlier today said 19 bridges in the region are damaged.
Closing arguments set to begin tomorrow in the Lindsay Clancy trial in Massachusetts after testimony concluded today.
Jurors heard from a total of 84 witnesses across 21 days of testimony as prosecutors sought to prove that Lindsay Clancy deliberately and intentionally murdered her children 3 years ago. Defense lawyers argue she was suffering from postpartum psychosis at the time and lost her grip on reality. When she sought medical help, defense lawyers argue that her doctors misdiagnosed and overmedicated her, prescribing her more than a dozen psychiatric drugs over a 4-month period. Closing arguments are scheduled to begin on Thursday morning. Peter Haralamus, ABC News.
Meta reaching a tentative landmark settlement with every U.S. state except New Mexico and Florida, joining in the proposal stemming from the lawsuit alleging Facebook and Instagram was designed to be addictive to minors. And the social media giant agreeing to pay up some $18 billion to make changes to its app. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
A default daily time limit of 2 hours for users under the age of 18. A ban on displaying numbers of likes or reactions to users under age 18. A ban on cosmetic procedure image filters. The option for some users under 18 to have a non-personalized feed. That is significant because that gets at algorithmic changes with these platforms.
You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Partly cloudy skies, 85 degrees at 5:02. I'm Susie Jones. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty just wrapping up a heated press conference where she responded to a Texas judge's ruling denying the extradition of an ICE agent wanted here on assault charges. Christian Castro is charged with assault and falsely reporting a crime in the shooting of a man and lying about it during the immigration crackdown in Minneapolis. Castro was arrested in May in Texas, and since then, Moriarty and Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison have been trying to get him extradited. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has refused, saying he wanted to investigate Castro for being a possible fugitive. The judge agreed with the governor. Moriarty says this should be concerning to everyone.
Because imagine a United States where somebody can commit a crime in one state and then run to another state where they feel perhaps somebody is, has a beef with another governor or is more politically aligned with them, and they just don't return them. That is not tenable. That's chaos here. That is preventing people from getting due process.
Castro could be released as soon as tomorrow, and Moriarty says there is evidence to suggest he is a flight risk due to close relationships with Mexican nationals across the border. Minnesota Attorney Keith Ellison today applauding the historic settlement reached with Meta. The company behind Instagram and Facebook agreed to pay more than $16.6 billion to 29 states over child safety on the platforms. Meta will pay Minnesota somewhere between $214 and $307 million under the agreement.
These changes are long overdue, but I give Meta credit for being the first major platform to agree to such comprehensive safety features. We don't want this to be the end of the story. It should be a signal to the entire social media industry that it's time to transform how they safeguard young people online.
The settlement requires Meta to put in place new safety features for kids ages 13 to 17, like time limits, nighttime blocks, and reducing social media comparison features like beauty filters and like counts, and more user-friendly parental controls. And finally, an 18-year-old man has pled guilty to killing 10-year-old Lily Peters in Wisconsin 4 years ago. He was given a life sentence in Chippewa County Court with the possibility of extending supervision after 25 years.
Carson Petersberger's guilty plea to first-degree intentional homicide during a hearing in Chippewa County Court today. As part of the deal, charges of first-degree sexual assault and first-degree child sexual assault were dismissed, but read into the record. Peters was reported missing by her father on April 24, 2022, when she left her aunt's house but failed to return home. Her body was found in the woods near the aunt's home the following morning. Petersberger, who was 14 years old at the time, told investigators that he planned to rape and kill Peters from the get-go on Sunday night when he began following her down a trail after she left her aunt's home. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
WCCO News Time is 5:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Amber Scholl & Associates, American Family Insurance. Outbound 35 East, still tight. It's come down from St. Clair, heading down toward West 7th Street. Northbound 35E jammed up from 494 into the work zone at Shepherd Road. 694 is jammed up both directions between 252 and Highway 10. 610 westbound slows University to Highway 252. Protect what matters most with Amber Scholl & Associates with American Family Insurance. From your home to your car to your dreams, Amber Scholl and her team are here to help you every step of the way. Call Amber Scholl today at 651-738-4811. To learn more, visit ampam.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mike Lynch here, and it goes without saying that Sweet Martha's cookies at the Minnesota State Fair are the best. But did you know you can have Sweet Martha's cookies year-round? That's right. Sweet Martha's cookie dough available in all kinds of flavors in the frozen food department of your favorite grocery store.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
The weather brought to you by Sweet Martha Cookies. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Just a few clouds overnight tonight as we fall back to 62 with that bright moon. Plenty of sunshine for the first day of the fair tomorrow. 82 the afternoon high, not humid. Don't forget we have the partial lunar eclipse tomorrow night where just after 11 o'clock, the moon will take on a reddish appearance. Friday looks good for the second day of the fair, partly cloudy with a high of 84.
Right now it's 80 degrees, a couple of clouds on News Talk 830 W.
I like it.
You like it.
I like it.
I'm going to comparison beauty shop you, whatever that means. What do they do with the kids?
It's a thing.
Minnesota's meeting spot to hear what's going on. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha, fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
Hey, big day for me, Dan. I listed something on Facebook Marketplace at 1:30 this afternoon. Sold it by 4 o'clock, was paid, and the thing is gone. Unbelievable.
Now shut up and drive.
I'm telling you, if you put something on Facebook Marketplace for free, you don't even bother. Don't even bother. If you put something on, have any of you guys ever done this? Put something on Facebook Marketplace for free. 651-461-9226. Because whenever I put something on Facebook Marketplace for free, what I get is 10,000 questions about every little detail about this thing. I'm like, I'm giving it to you for nothing. Come over, look at it, take it, I don't care. I don't want to respond to your dumb questions. Today I put patio furniture, a patio, like a dining table, 6 chairs. In the listing, I said, they're like 5 years old. They've been beaten down by the sun, so they're faded. Woman on Facebook Marketplace asked 0 questions, said, I'm very interested. Can I come over and get it today? I said, sure. I got my 21-year-old. Seth was my agent in this transaction. I'm like, Seth will meet you at 4 o'clock. They can't, and Seth, so I text Seth because I'm here, as you guys know, conducting this radio program and conducting the video stream of this program is like, there's a lot going on here. I don't have time to be texting Facebook Marketplace and texting Seth. But Seth is like, are they going to expect me to carry this table off the patio? And I said, seems like an issue for them. Like, they'll figure it out. I'm like, they could take the table apart if they want. I don't know. And sure enough, in the last hour, I get a little notification, Venmo paid, boom, 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 done. Do you ever feel as successful in life than would you sell something on Facebook the same day you list it with no drama? This is the easiest transaction. I mean, it's been more complicated to pay a kid to mow my lawn back when I was staying at the apartment in St. Paul. Just amazing. Texter says, I realized 15 years ago using Craigslist, if I put something on there for free, nobody wanted it. If I had a price, everybody was calling and texting and emailing. If it's free, they think it's junk. If there's a price, they figure it must not be bad. So I'd sell stuff for 20, 25, 30 bucks all the time. My approach in selling stuff is price it aggressively, because my actual goal is to get this thing out of my house, right? It's cheaper than the call 1-800, come and take my junk. Those guys, not that kind of, So I just want people to take the thing, and if they get to use it, it's given something more life. I feel like I've done something good for the environment. As you know, I'm a great steward of the earth. What are you laughing at?
I'm just trying to figure out how Brad's going to use that in a promo.
Texter says it is pretty fulfilling. Yes, it's very fulfilling. I feel so accomplished today. And other members of my family think I'm some sort of Facebook Marketplace wizard, because they can never sell stuff. But I sell stuff all the time. And it's because I just price it low. I didn't even think, so I don't know if you guys have listed anything lately, but if you list something now, I took a bunch of pictures and uploaded the picture, and I had some toggle, I guess, flip that said, let AI do the description. And AI was just like, modern outdoor dining set with 6 chairs. I was like, holy cow. And I had to tweak the description because I wanted to say like what the size of the table was. And I wanted to say that the chairs were originally lime green and now they're a faded green. But here's I'm trying to, boom, $200. I listed it for $200. And if you're like buying a new chair, one of these chairs was $89. I went and looked on the website. So 89 times 6 is like $520, something like that. Like, done. Love it. Let's talk to Billy in Elk River. Billy, I'm on a high right now. I feel like I'm Dale Carnegie. I'm like the king of sales right now.
And you should,
yeah.
Because you have a product and you priced it properly. You communicated to the person that got a hold of you, and then it sold. That's exactly how it should work.
Usually and often, it can be a little more, there's a little more drama. There goes Billy.
Said what he had to say.
I
and
like,
just left. Okay.
It usually doesn't go that way, though. Don't you get the sense that like Facebook Marketplace is just is a train wreck?
I have precisely one Facebook Marketplace experience.
Okay.
This will shock you what I bought off of Facebook. Actually, why don't you guess? Why don't you go ahead and guess what I bought off of Facebook Marketplace and think about what we've been talking about today.
I mean, clearly it's some sort of telescope.
Yeah, it was a telescope.
Yeah.
And it couldn't have been smoother.
It was smooth.
Guy listed it. I said, can I come take a look at it? Because you never know with telescopes what kind of condition they're going to be in. Yeah, sure. Drove down, looked at it, was in good shape. Handed him over the cash. And
how far did you drive?
I want to say it was Burnsville.
Not bad.
No, it wasn't terribly far.
And how much did it cost you?
$100 for a product that would probably retail $500.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And
now I put another 50 to 75 into it to soup it up a little bit. But,
sure.
Now,
did you alert anyone that you were going to some rando's house?
No.
Did you have any sort of tracking on your, I guess
No.
your phone. But so if this went south.
Yeah, it'd
be the end of you.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. You should probably tell someone.
Yeah, I'm good.
Jonathan says selling stuff on Marketplace is addictive. Andrew points out that Facebook has local groups called Buy Nothing where everything is free. In my experience, when you list something for free, the people who want that for free are the biggest pains in the butt of anybody buying anything online. The biggest pain in the butt. Texter says, I love when you're giving something away and then they ask you to bring it to them. Another texter said the same thing. The best is giving it away for free. Quote, can you deliver it to me? Yeah, I'll deliver something.
Say, well, it's the product's free. Delivery charge is $50.
Jay is in Bloomington. Jay, I feel like a master of sales today. I went to work and just conducted this whole thing over my phone. Do I need to share a percentage of this with the 21-year-old who facilitated the process?
Yes, that is exactly the reason for my call. I'm the agent for Seth DeRusha, and we are here to work out a relationship on the $200 of the work he had to do for you.
That's fair. I'm willing to give a percentage, Jay. But I don't want to negotiate against myself. What do you think a fair level of compensation would be for the young Mr. DeRusha?
Oh, I think of all the work he had to do, if he had to help break down that table, at least 75%.
I mean, judging from the text that I got from Seth, he was not very involved in the breaking down of the table. But I think 75% is a good start. I'd like to counteroffer with 5%. What do you think?
Well, again, as I explained to Seth, that, I've got my 10%.
Well, of course, naturally. Yes, of course. Very good. Thank you, Jay. Jeff is in Sauk Rapids.
I've got a high one for you.
All right.
I've got 2 rocker recliners that are in almost new condition.
Okay.
And I called Goodwill, said I wanted to donate them. They said, okay, and directed me to a website, and I'd make the arrangements with someone they partner with for the pickup. Well, I go through the whole thing, fill out all my information and everything, then to find out they wanted $175 to pick them up.
Oof. Oof. That's brutal.
How's that for a kick where it hurts?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's no good. That is no good. The Facebook Marketplace lifestyle, like I feel like you don't choose that lifestyle, it chooses you. Like it becomes addictive. You're like, I'm going to find a deal. But let me tell you my weird experience with Facebook Marketplace. Years ago, I was trying to sell a car. That's a little too much for me. Like having randos come over to my house. Now, whenever I sell something on Facebook Marketplace, there's about a 50-50 chance that the purchaser, when they show up, is like, oh, you are that Jason DeRusha. And then you feel like a real cheapskate that like you're selling something for $20 and inviting some stranger over to my house. Like maybe that's not my smartest. But when I was trying to sell a car, like I was doing test drives of my car with strangers. And after 2 of those, I thought, you know what? We're just going to go to the dealer. Like, this is maybe not my best idea.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd give you a heads up on a Goodwill gig anyway.
I like it. I like it. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Lots of text coming on this, too. Your Facebook texter says, my marketplace went well because I was selling a celebrities table. And then they specify I'm using the term celebrity loosely, which is fair. It is fair.
Oh, more than fair.
Yeah.
But it also feels like a little bit of a sideways dig at you.
Yeah. I
mean, you're not a real celebrity, DeRusha.
That's what I love about this text. Like the self-awareness to one, try to boost me up by saying, boost me up and cut me down, right? The only reason you sold this so smoothly is because you're famous. And then, so like with that statement, what this texter is saying is you're not that good at business. Like, don't be so proud of yourself.
Yeah.
And then they come in and with the punch in the nuts and say, hey, you're not even really a celebrity.
Not really. Yeah.
You're not even famous.
I did the scare quote.
Texter. Now, oh, this is great. Now now we've become, there used to be a bit in Milwaukee where they would do, it was like the public television auction.
Yeah.
And you just be, didn't we used to have a garage sale?
Yes.
The CCO garage sale.
It's kind of a swap shop radio.
Well, all right. If you have something to sell.
No. Because I manned the phones for that swap shop show.
Let's go.
And let me assure you, I will block every phone call that comes in before I'm going to allow that to happen on our show.
A texter says, I just sold a timeshare on Marketplace. Now, another texter says, I think my son could use those rocker recliners. So let's get Jeff and 612 are connected.
No, we're not doing that.
Another texter trying to sell me an Unreal sweatshirt. I do like those. I
know you do.
We got the Unreal giveaway at the Twins game.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
Yes.
All right. I'm just very proud of myself. Should we start?
No.
But what if every day we started the show with me just saying some things I'm looking for,
No.
and then people could text in if they have it and want to sell it to me? This is just for me, not for the listeners.
No, I understand. Well, just put your phone number out there. Let them text you directly. Why clog up our text line?
It's not a bad idea.
There you go.
All right. So I'm looking for a new lens for my Olympus mirrorless camera. And if you would like to connect with me, my number is 612.
Don't you dare.
72.
Don't you dare. Stop it right there.
No?
No.
All right. Oh, a texter saying, how come I didn't advertise my item for sale on my show or my station? That is true. I mean, honestly, if you're looking to sell something, Odyssey is your one-stop shop for digital marketing, digital sales. What Odyssey's sales team does is solve problems, Dan. but I don't think it's the most efficient way to sell my patio furniture. But we can turn the show into that. I'm open to it. Drive Time back in just a minute.
Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Your mortgage is probably your biggest bill each month. Imagine having to pay it twice. It can happen if you buy a new home before you sell your current one. You need a real estate agent who knows how to find buyers fast. My friends from the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, know how to get the job done. Nate and Keisha were worried after their house sat on the market for more than half a year with a different agent. They had bought a new home before their previous one sold, and they felt stuck. They've been hearing me tell you about the Good Neighbor agent and knew they had to call John themselves. John's marketing system reaches thousands of potential home buyers every day. It helps him routinely sell houses fast and for the most money possible. John's marketing system found them a buyer in just a week. It sold for full asking price. They were so happy. Curious what your home is worth? Just type in your address, johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply. The Minnesota State Fair is almost here, and at By the Yard, it's our favorite time of the year. It's Veneta. See fresh designs at the fair or get a sneak peek in Woodbury, Maple Grove, or Jordan. With By the Yard, life is better outdoors.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices. $399 a month. Sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code PROGRAM25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PROGRAM25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PROGRAM25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Risa can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY.
Drive Time with DeRusha.
I don't think it's working. Hello.
Right, yes.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Baby, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it when we fight it.
All right, we're having fun in our last hour today. Enough is coming up in just a couple of minutes. So if you want to tell me what you are sick and tired of, what you've had enough of, and I have a long list. Naturally. You can send me a voice message right now. So you can do it. If you want to do it, just record a voice note on your phone and shoot us an email at jason@Audacy, AUDACY.com. That works. Or if you're an Audacy app user, you listen live on the app, right next to the microphone, that says listen live. There's a button that says send a, I don't know what it says. Do you know what it says, Cook? Send a voice message? Who knows? Just the other button. Hit the button and you record a voice message. It comes right to the Dan Cook email right here in the studio. So
kind of.
I don't know how it works.
It says,
it's none of my business.
Yeah, it says send a voice message.
Send a voice message. Yeah. That's about what I said, right?
Pretty close, yeah.
All right. So click the thing, it goes to something. Dan clicks on another thing, it downloads into another dealy bop, and then he hits the button and you hear it on the radio.
Very technical.
That's how it works. Lots of Facebook Marketplace related texts coming in.
Including Mr. Marconi, who apparently has decided he knows radio. So that's fine.
Bad decision on the topic today.
Uh-oh.
This guy, I'm glad for the listening. But this person is really upset.
Yeah, clearly.
That I'm talking about Facebook instead of talking about the station's sales team. And I would just like to say, the 320 texter, first of all, congrats, because I never like to talk about people who text in with like this sort of
trolling.
Right.
Yeah.
And so kudos to you. You broke through. It's Cook's fault for raising it. Second of all, you are the first person to say that we're not spending enough time on advertising.
Yes, that's true.
On this radio station.
That's usually not the complaint.
Yeah,
we get.
so I like it.
Well done. Well done.
I like it. I agree. And I'd like to welcome a new sponsor on. Jason, how do you feel about people who leave stuff at the end of their driveway and mark it for free? So I have a lot of thoughts about that. And my main thought is that I don't want anything in my house that has been sitting outside on the curb.
I think that's very smart on your part.
So the people who are putting their hutches and their tables and their whatevers, what's happening?
What if it's something that would also be sitting outside, though? What if it's, say, lawn furniture or whatever and stuff that you would store?
Lawnmower.
Yeah.
You see all of this.
So it wouldn't actually come in your house. Would you feel differently then?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I will say this. I believe when you put something at the end of your driveway with a sign that says free on it, you also should probably pull your car onto your front lawn, put it on some blocks.
The cinder blocks, yeah.
Because you're sort of giving that vibe,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
You're sort of giving that vibe.
Go full on redneck. There's the apartment version or apartment corollary to that, I think, which is in the lobby of the apartment building when somebody moves out and doesn't want to take something with them and they leave the stuff there with the free note on it.
Right.
Then the apartment building sends out an email to everybody saying, hey, please don't do that because we just end up picking it up and throwing it out. And then people just do it anyway. I may or may not have about half a dozen things in my apartment that I picked up that way.
I mean, I think that the apartment scenario is very interesting, right? Because I am selling something from my apartment right now.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to live there forever. My lease expires at the end of October, and we're going to move back to Maple Grove. We had a good time in St. Paul.
Yeah.
But
lovely city, too much construction.
My time is up, and so back to Maple Grove we'll go. But we have a bulletin board you can post on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you list things there, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But I would take something. If there was something in the lobby of the apartment building that I thought
just sitting
that's
on the
nice.
table there.
Yeah, I would take that for
why
sure.
not?
Take that for sure. Texter says one could start a business rescuing lawnmowers and grills that are left at the curb. I know a guy who actually, I think I got rid of a lawnmower to somebody who repairs lawnmowers. That's what he does. Kind of interesting. Enough. What have you had enough of this week? My enough has a workplace connection.
Mine does too.
So for those of you who wish we talked more about the company, that is coming your way in minutes. 651-461-9226 or send those voice messages. What have you had enough of on the eve of the Minnesota State Fair on CCO?
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Dollar General.
AI is a popular topic during corporate earnings results. Goldman Sachs researchers found that 65% of S&P 500 management teams mentioned AI during their earnings calls. That's up from 40% in 2023 and the low teens in 2022. The investment firm says companies in all sectors are addressing AI investment, automation, and productivity. I'm Jason Brooks.
One cart, one trip. Everything your family counts on. Tylenol for the aches, Band-Aid for the scrapes. Johnson's Baby for the littlest ones. Neutrogena for you. Find them across the store here at Dollar General. And Kenvue proudly supports the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and Yellow Glasses. Grab a pair up front for $2 and help fund reading programs for local kids.
Let's talk about pork. Jason here for 3,000 Family Farmers. That's what Minnesota pork is. Oh, you think like, these are, some big company or big whatever. No, it's just families, 3,000 of them all over this state. And the Minnesota pork community is so excited to welcome you at the Minnesota State Fair. Come to the Oink booth. Go see the biggest boar at the fair. And after you're done listening to Chad Hartman, host from noon to 3, you can go and see the biggest hog at the state fair. Go to the Oink booth because I want you to meet a Minnesota pig farmer. I think when you meet these farmers and you see the next generation, the technology they're using and the effort they're putting into taking care of the soil and the water and taking care of their animals, take care of their community. To me, it makes me proud to go, like I did last night, to Minneapolis Club and have a beautiful, beautiful pork chop. Oh, my goodness. So good. Bone in, thick, juicy. This weekend, as you're getting into that last couple weeks of summer, those final family gatherings out on the back patio with that new furniture you just bought from me on Facebook Marketplace. Having a pulled pork sandwich, ribs, so many great options. If you need recipe inspiration, go to tastewhatporkcando.com. But most importantly, go to your grocery store or butcher shop and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Laguna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. Got a crash working on Cedar Avenue northbound near Highway 13. Traffic down to a single lane with roadwork in the left lane, and then the crash is now blocking the right lane. Plenty of emergency vehicles on the scene. Things are jammed up pretty much as you come away from 35E. Traveling along 494 eastbound, that's going to be sluggish past Highway 52. 94 eastbound slows right through the Lowry Hill Tunnel, heading up toward Highway 280. Laguna, Minnesota reminds you to slow down in construction zones. Members of Laguna and their union contractors are building a better infrastructure for you. So please slow down and pay attention to the road signs when you see orange and yellow. Brought to you by Laguna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCL.
Don't even think about putting your clubs away this offseason. Fall leagues are back and better than ever at Launchpad Golf in Prior Lake. More options, bigger prizes, weekly challenges to feed your whole team. Learn more, sign up today while spots last at launchpadgolf.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Launchpad Golf. I love Launchpad Golf. We had a great time with the family and some friends down in Prior Lake, right by Mystic Lake Casino Hotel. Launchpad Golf bringing us Chris Schaefer.
Just a few clouds overnight tonight as we fall back to 62 with that bright moon. Plenty of sunshine for the first day of the fair tomorrow. 82 the afternoon high, not humid. Don't forget we have the partial lunar eclipse tomorrow night where Just after 11 o'clock, the moon will take on a reddish appearance. Friday looks good for the second day of the fair, partly cloudy with a high of 84.
Right now, mostly cloudy, 80 degrees in Woodbury on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I have had enough. Enough is enough. Enough.
Oh, we love this time of the week. It's your chance to air your minor grievances. We talk big issues. We talk important stuff on this show all the time. This is your chance to just like, it's the kind of stuff you bellyache about, and people are like, first world problem. We are the first world. We welcome the first world problems. It's 651-461-9226. I'm going to start because I have had enough of reply all. And I'm talking to you, Odyssey Sales Department, because you people are insufferable and you are the kings and queens of the reply all. There are times when a reply all is warranted. But those times are so rare that I believe you should have to individually put every name in the email that you want that message to go to. Because we all know what people use the reply all for. It is the ultimate butt kissing of any butt kissing. This week here at the Radio Factory, some woman in Chicago got promoted from like mid-level, unimportant digital sales, whatever, to senior digital sales, whatever. You would have thought that this woman just cured cancer. The way sales executives from Detroit, from Milwaukee, from Minneapolis, everybody was falling all over themselves. Oh, congratulations. So deserved. Including in this building, 2 people. 2 of our salespeople were in on it. And I think more would have replied all, except I went on Twitter and was like, my God, like, are salespeople the most likely of any job to use the reply all or what? It's salespeople. And I have another theory, Dan, as to why salespeople are using the reply all. It's because they don't do a damn thing at work. And it's a way that they can alert everybody that they're still on the job. Odds are good that Chuck from Detroit was out on the golf course. And he just saw the email. He's like, oh, I can fire off a congratulations. And then everyone's like, man, Chuck is on it. That Chuck working hard. Sick of it. We had, I think, 11 replies to this email thread. And again, like, she didn't win the Marconi. She got promoted to some sales job. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know why you disparage the fine men and women of the Odyssey sales team, because they do a wonderful job and help us, pay your exorbitant salary. And they're just out there working hard every day. And if they want to congratulate each other with a little pat on the back, I don't know why you're so grumpy about it.
How about a direct email? If you actually gave a crap about this, wouldn't you send a direct email? Isn't that possible? Do you know how to
It's possible, but it's just easier to reply all.
Do you believe that the reply all cabal, do they purposefully reply all, or do they think they're just replying? They have to be purposeful.
No, it's purposeful because you have to go look for the button. It's not like it's just the standard.
It's not
button.
obvious in the thing?
No.
I wouldn't know because I've never used reply all, because only idiots use reply all.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Is that 11 people?
Yeah.
I
in
would
short order.
I muted it after 1, so I don't I don't know.
Normally,
that might be the greatest invention ever, by the way. The ability to mute.
You can
a
mute.
thread.
I
Yes.
didn't even know you could do
Yes,
this.
I'll show you how to do it after the show if you would like. But you can mute it because if you know the 15 more reply alls are coming, they won't clog up your inbox.
When you see something like this week, there was some sad news that came out related to one of our coworkers.
Yeah.
And I sent a text.
I did too.
I don't know. Now, I suppose I could have replied all.
You could have.
To show everyone in this company how compassionate and caring I am. Because that's what reply all is. It is a stage for you to step up and announce to the world how much you, whatever it is that you're doing.
It's purely performative. There's no question.
I hate it. I've had enough. 651-461-9226. That is my first world problem this week. Dan, you also have a work-related email.
Well, I mean, it's
Similar?
related to being at work anyway, because I've had enough of people who are in my life who know the kind of, at least roughly the hours that I work, and are bombing me with text messages in the middle of the show while I'm trying to do the show.
Yeah.
And, hey, what's going on? Are we doing the thing the next week with the people in the place? Including a colleague of ours here who's texted me about something that was said in the middle of the show. Like, I'm not busy doing other things. Can I come explain what this was about when we said in the middle of the show? Like, he doesn't know better. He knows better than that.
Yeah.
Text me after the show, not in the middle of the show, please. I got enough stuff going on, especially trying to book the fair. I don't need any more texts going, hey, are we getting together next week for the no, just wait till I'm done with work, please.
Similar to that, I have good friends who should know that I host a radio show from 3 to 6, who constantly are inviting me to do stuff at like 4:30. I'm like, look, man, like I don't expect you to listen to the show every day. It's fine. Like, I wish you would. But if you're not going to listen to your friend's radio show, there are other options. And one of them that I would appreciate is if you would pretend that you listen to your friend's radio show. And part of pretending that you listen to your friend's radio show is not inviting him to do things at 4:30. Enough. Texters at 651-461-9226 say, Dan, you can mute the your text messages during the show. He can show you how to
No, but I
mute it.
can't, though, because I'm trying to
then
literally
you have work.
There's work
text,
stuff that I have to be able to do. No, I understand that. Believe me.
You could probably text this. You could mute this particular person.
Yeah, I don't want to do that to them.
Yeah,
No, they're good people. They
good.
mean
Yeah,
well.
Yeah, exactly.
We do have a voice message
Oh,
too, by the way, if you'd like
wonderful.
to play that.
Yeah, let's
Carrie
see.
in White Bear Lake says she's had enough of. Whoops, wrong button.
Your closing remark about the eve of the state fair is what I have exactly had enough of. I do not get the draw. I do not appreciate all of the chitter chatter on TV and radio. And I don't even hear neighbors go. Maybe it's because I'm a transplant. I don't get it. But that's my view. Carrie from White Bear.
You know, I get where she's coming from.
Yes.
I do. Like, I like the state fair, and if you go to mnstatefair.org, you'll see we're 13 hours, 13 minutes away to the start. But I get it. Like, if you didn't love the fair, it's so weird. It's so weird, right? The fact that local news is probably going to stop for the next 13 days. This weekend, for my newsletter that I publish, which you could sign up for, by the way, at jasonderusha.com.
Better tell our sales department about it and not just talk about.
I did ask them if they wanted me to send out an email through Odyssey, and they're like, we can't do that. So jasonderusha.com, sign up for that. But I was trying to find things for people to do this weekend. Good luck.
Outside of the fair.
There's not much.
Yeah.
It all pretty much shuts down.
I mean, I get it on two levels. I get especially if you're a transplant, because it's such a cultural icon thing here that if you didn't grow up with it, if it's not in your bones to go to the fair, then okay, it's just a fair. There's a lot of states that have fairs that are, just mere shadows of what we do here in Minnesota. And if that's your fair experience, you probably wouldn't get why it's such a big deal here. So I get that. Also, I get it because the state fair is introvert hell. So if you're not a people person, or you don't enjoy large crowds like that, like many of us don't,
right?
It can be a hellish place on earth to have to go to if for some reason you need to go there. Like, say, I don't know, you work someplace that sends you there for 7 days. So I get the resistance to the state fair.
Carrie's gone to the fair, she said.
I believe it. You can experience it, but it's.
And she's like, I'm not.
It's just
it's
different
not for her.
I
think that's okay.
Again, totally okay.
I also think this may be a controversial view.
Here it comes.
I think more people are against the fair than are for it.
Ooh.
But the percentage that is for it is still such a significant percentage of people.
You know what that's akin to? Hockey fans.
Oh.
More people in the state are not hockey fans than are hockey fans, but hockey fans are psycho about it.
Yeah. Hockey fandom, it's probably what? 25% of the state?
Fair number.
I think it's probably the highest percentage of most any state in the country.
Probably.
And it's still sort of a nothing sport.
And it's it's behind football. It's behind basketball.
I mean, if they win, we're just desperate for a winner. Like, we'll get on board, Keep it coming. Lots of enoughs at 651-461-9226, including if you don't love the fair, you need to go back to Russia. Wow. Carrie and White Bear. I don't want you to go back to Russia. D-Russia. Coming back in just a minute.
Drive Time with DeRussia on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Introducing the WCCO Minnesota Translator.
Interesting.
Translation: I strongly disagree with you.
We should get together sometime.
Translation: we will most likely never get together.
Little chilly today.
Translation: it's 14 below and my eyelashes have frozen, but we're not making a thing out of it.
Oh, just gonna sneak past you here.
Translation: get out of the way.
I heard something on CCO today.
Translation: I've listened to both sides, know the context and headlines, got the weather, how the Twins are doing, and that I need to leave 10 minutes early because of road construction.
Fluent in Minnesotan. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Twin City Framers is the industry leader building the largest wood frame projects in town, and they have immediate openings for carpenters. Here's the deal. Large multifamily carpentry pays an average of $5 an hour more than single-family homes. This is your opportunity to work for the best of the business and make more money today. If you're a carpenter or know someone looking for better pay, better hours, great benefits, and on-the-job training, then look no further. Go online to TwinCityFramers.com and apply for an immediate position today. That's TwinCityFramers.com.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
So when do you need to start thinking about a will? Find out at gutmanlaw.com. What is a living trust, and do you need this? Find out at gutmanlaw.com. What about a power of attorney or probate? We'll get all the answers to your questions when you schedule a free attorney consultation at, gutmanlaw.com. It's Jordana. And I didn't know the first thing about wills, living trusts, estate planning, but I didn't need to. All I did was reach out to my friend Matt Gutman and his partner Jamie Ref Wagner. This is their focus: wills, trust, probate, estate plans. Now knowing that my loved ones will be taken care of no matter what helps me sleep at night. Don't wait until it's too late to get these things taken care of. You can schedule a free, no-hassle consultation right on the website. Say it with me, gutmanlaw.com. Gutmanlaw.com, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow. It's not just a slogan. I sleep better at night now that I have my estate plan in place. Thanks to Matt Gutman and Jamie.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices. $399 a month sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Overwhelming, but you don't have to go through it alone.
On my podcast, From the Heart with Rachel Brathen, I share openly and vulnerably about everything life brings us and what we can learn by living with our hearts a little bit more open. Every Friday, a new episode brings you a new story with topics on self-care, motherhood, healing, and more. You are enough, just the way you are. This podcast is a reminder of that. Follow and listen to From the Heart with Rachel Brathen wherever you get your podcasts.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Crash working on Cedar Avenue northbound near Highway 13. Look for the right lane to be affected and slow down as you come up from Cliff Road. Traveling 35W northbound, that's going to be slow in Minneapolis as make the run past 42nd. 694 westbound jammed up 35W to Highway 252. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
B&M Tree Services, certified arborists offering tree trimming, storm cleanup, and full tree removal with professional service at prices you can afford. Call 1-800-569-9034 or visit bnmtree.com. Trusted, professional, reliable.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast brought to you by B&M Tree Service. Tonight, 62. First day of the fair, 82. Friday, 84. Cook has had enough of me dropping his whiteboard on the floor. We got some breaking news to tell you about in just a minute. Right now, it's 80 degrees. Continental Diamond time check, 5:54 here on CCO.
Drive time with DeRusha.
Weird. It was startling. It's a little scary.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Enough!
Well, if you've had enough wondering if the Timberwolves were going to get a forward, they got a big whale. Just breaking from Shams Charania, Jonathan Kuminga from Atlanta coming to the Timberwolves. He'll be a starter. Kuminga was a hot commodity. Shams reporting that the Lakers wanted him, the Bulls wanted him, the Trailblazers. But he'll get a 2-year, $13 million deal. So he gets a shorter deal and a player option, so he gets control over his future. But the Wolves going for it this year with Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy Gobert. That is a starting five. All right. Henry's going to get you all. Henry is pumped.
That's as excited as I've ever seen Henry.
Yeah. So that'll be good. So make sure you're listening right at the start of the Lake Show to get Henry's analysis. So enough. Couple more from you guys. Audrey says, I've had enough of those West Coast Twins games. I can't stay up that late.
No, plus, they haven't been going that well. So
I was watching the start of last night's game, and then I'm like, I'm good. And then I missed the immaculate inning. The first in Twins history. Taj.
Which is wild to me that that's the first time that's ever happened. I mean, it's really not easy to do. It's happened twice to the Twins.
It's 9 straight strikes. Is that it? Yeah.
3 outs on 9 strikes. All strikeouts.
Pretty cool. But we lost, so who cares?
Well, there's that.
This is the thing.
And Buck got hurt
This is the thing about baseball. Like, today, everyone's going nuts about the immaculate inning.
Yeah.
The other day, everybody's going nuts about the 4-hit performance by the rookie.
Kalen Culpepper.
And we lost both of those games.
Well, there's that. But here's the thing. Because baseball's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, and not everybody's going to have a great team. You got to find the small joys in the everyday game, or it'll just grind you into the ground.
These are enjoyable big things.
Yeah.
And
certainly better than something stupid like the cycle.
You and your cycle hatred. I mean, the immaculate inning, it's still don't matter.
Performative.
Don't matter how you get to three outs, though.
Sure it does.
Not really. I've had enough of my pillow guy pretending that he was going to fork over $825,000.
Who saw that coming? I was shocked when he decided he wasn't actually going to come up with $800,000. What a clown.
Oh, gosh. Can we just be done with him?
Yes.
I do miss, like, my pillow guy back when he was my pillow guy.
It's never going to happen again.
It was such a great story.
The sun has set on that.
It's time to shut it down. Enough Doug and Emu commercials. By the way, I got 2 texts today. One called me a yuppie cake eater. The other one said, "What a privileged prick you are."
Wow.
One of those texts was followed by, "Sorry, that was sent to the wrong chat." Which one was it? You'll never know. You'll never know. Henry coming up in minutes with the breaking Timberwolves news.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just